Hello, everyone from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is AS Eat the Pair speaking. As always, I am joined by Old Dirty H. Say hello, Oldie.
Hello, hello.
And today we are joined by a very special guest. Everybody, please give a big warm welcome to Kron. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, guys. What's up? And awesome to be back doing some guest casting for Ron again. So, hello, guys. What's been happening while I've been away?
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
for coming, Kron. We really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us today. Um,
Yeah, no problem. No, I'm really a massive fan of what you guys have been doing, and yeah, I've had my work taking up a bit more of my time and baby things as well. But I have been trying to watch as much as I can, and honestly, yeah, kudos to you guys. This has been a great tournament so far, and this game I feel fortunate to be guest casting because I've got a lot of respect and pretty excited to see what happens between PLA and AS here.
yeah.
yeah. These are two pretty heavyweight clans here, so this is nice to see some of the big boy clans getting for a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, is it fair to say a lot of people were thinking that it was almost like unlucky that these two teams were on the same side of the bracket because this could have been potentially the grand final, maybe. But
Yeah, I
uh,
think that's right. Yeah,
anyway, no. So very excited to be here, and thanks again for the invite.
Yeah, of course. Um, yeah, this is going to be an exciting match. I can tell you that. So let's take a look at the players on each team. On the PLA side, we have PLA Old Cat, PLA Soul, PLA Wolf, and PLA Ben. And on the AS Gladiator side, we have AS Eat the Pair, that's myself, AS Sheercon, AS Namillo X, and AS Marvelous. So what do you guys think about the matchup on paper? Who do you guys think has the edge, or if any, over the other team?
Look, I think overall, if you look at these two teams, great kind of clash of styles as well. But look, it's a tough one to call. I'd say, in my mind, just from past experience, I'd probably give a slight edge to PLA, just because I've played against them before in Nomadium, and I know that Soul in particular is a really, really good player. And Old Cat is, he might be. There's all these memes about Old Cat being like this guy who one day woke up and wasn't Old Cat, but he was New Cat now. So he improved so much. He really did. I think he was in a standard tournament, the original King of Sahara, and so Old Cat is definitely punches well above his weight nowadays. He's another superstar in PLA, in that low tier of PLA,
Yeah.
if you could call it that. And then Wolf is also really solid too. So I've kind of got this image in my mind of those guys just tearing it up in some of those Nomadium games. But
Yeah.
I mean, having said that, I think you guys like the AS team here. I've played against Namalox a bit in 4v4s, just random games, and he's improved so much. Like he's now one of those guys that you identify and you're like, oh damn, like he's really going to be a tough one to deal with. Master Khan, Shia Khan, he needs no introduction either. He's been playing for pretty much as long as I've been playing, so 6 years plus now, I think, and always solid. And Pear, I'm just going to talk third person about yourself, but yeah, you've also always struck me as someone who's really creative and a player who really understands the game and really tries to think about the game like the true strategy game it is, rather than just doing the same thing each time. And yeah, I think I haven't seen all of your games in this tournament so far, but I know in the Nomadium ones, you're always, in my opinion, the MVP on your team, and you had Duzzles and Spyrodon as your teammates. So um, I think, yeah, this honestly is not cliche at all. It literally could go either way. But
Yeah.
I'm keen to hear what Oldie thinks as well,
Yeah,
because
I want to hear your opinion too.
yeah. I mean, I think Kron pretty much nailed it on the head, right? PLA is just these Chinamen. They train well together. They play really well together. We've seen throughout the tournament. Yeah, Old Cat's improved tremendously, and with those raids especially. But AS is AS, man. I mean, Namillo's improved insanely. He's like a Cold Fire Junior now, basically. And then you have Mastercon and Pair. So I'm really excited for this. I think this is what I think Kron hit it right on the head. This should have been the finals, probably better. But at least we're getting to see this match. I'm just excited that you guys actually got to meet because I think this is just a clash of the titans here.
Yeah, definitely. And big shout out to all my teammates and also all of PLA because we did have a bunch of scheduling issues, but everybody was really flexible and really understanding. So We really appreciate that. That's just good sportsmanship. And so shout out to everybody, all of my teammates, as well as all of PLA for being really accommodating overall. In the chat, we do see Fahed, Spiridon, Master 8, that's Sheer, and Lockland, and Rise of Patience, who's from
Lockland's is Kron, and I'm guessing Kron is doing both. He's smurfing.
Nice.
Smurfing both.
So hello everybody in the chat. Hope you are enjoying the stream thus far. Bans wise for these teams, so AS Gladiators banned for their opponents Lakota, Iroquois, and Greeks, and so PLA can't pick Lakota, Iroquois, and Greeks. And on the other side, PLA banned Japanese, British, and Greeks. So AS cannot pick Japanese, British, or Greeks. So fairly standard bans. We did see this ban against PLA in the quarterfinals. And I actually decided this ban. I knew going into it, Old Cat was good with Iroquois, so I just decided, okay, let's just ban it. Don't get too fancy about it. Other than that, pretty standard bans. Greeks, Japanese, British are among the more commonly banned nations in this tournament.
So did Lakota get banned by one team and Japs the other? Is that right?
Yeah. So AS can still pick Lakota and PLA can still pick Japs. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, I think I definitely think the Lakota ban is a stronger ban, even though Japs are incredible too. I just feel like in the hands of the right player, Lakota can just turn a game on its head. But we'll have to see if it plays out that way or not.
Yeah, definitely. So get excited, get in your seats. I did play all of these games, and let me tell you, it is an exciting series. So
nice.
we're gonna have some fun here. Before we jump into game number 1, we're going to talk about the donations quickly. If you like the Nordic Classic and you want to support the prize pool and you want to make things just a little bit more exciting for our viewers as well as the players, you can go to the front page of the Nordic Classic tournament page. That's also in the YouTube description below, and click on this prize pool link. That prize pool link is also in the YouTube description, and you can go to this GoFundMe. So thank you so far to our donors. So that's this anonymous person, this icon 35 is Duzzles, some penis for your mouth, El Cypher, Wizard of War, Kron, PLA, Jatin, Bybrak, this anonymous person is Connor, as well as Bob. Thank you to everybody who's donated so far. We really appreciate your donations. It's kind of what makes these tournaments, possible, and helps support everybody involved. So if you do have that little extra bit of cash lying around, go ahead and donate. We really appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, guys, get on board. How much have we got now as well? Can anyone translate that to US dollars?
I think you divide it by 10 for US dollars, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't trust me on that.
That's it.
I'm not sure. But if so, that's 327.
Wow. That's decent. Geez, that's a decent chunk of change. So
yeah.
Yeah, geez. Okay. All right. The stakes are high now. So it's raising the tension even more.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started here and load up game number 1. And then if you guys could pause at 0 seconds while I also get it loaded up.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are.
Yep, I'm ready to go.
So this is the Nordic Classic semifinals. This is AS versus PLA, game number 1. And I see Vamsy and Jatin in the chat. Hey guys, how's it going? All right. I'm at 0 seconds. Are you guys ready?
Yep,
ready to go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is AS versus PLA, game number 1. It looks like we're on Australian Outback. Let's take a look at the players and their nations. On the AS side, we have AS Mastercon, the Sheer, AS Eat the Pair, AS Mad Duelist X, that's Namillo. And they're up against PLA Wolf, PLA Soul, and PLA Old Cat. Nations-wise, we've got Mastercon with Mongols, Eat the Pair with Russians, Mad Duelist X with Romans. And they're up against Wolf with Indians, Soul with Japanese, and Old Cat with Chinese. What do you guys think about these picks? Who do you think is favored on Outback?
Ooh, it's a good question. I mean, I must admit the Russian pick is quite nice on this map. I find Russians, if you can deny your opponents all the metal and take over that territory as a third tier pick here, that can be really handy. But look, I'd say, the headlines here is, Japs versus Mongols here. I think Seoul just in my mind, he's still this player who's just incredibly talented. Give him Japs, and he's going to cause a lot of trouble here. So, look, Japs and Indians is a pretty brutal combo as well. I'd have to give a slight edge to the PLA picks, but it's pretty close.
What do you think, Old?
I disagree. I like the AS picks. I love Mother Russia, especially on this map. As Kron pointed out, they just eat up all that real estate. It's very frustrating. And the Mongols, if you get in the right location, drop 2 farms, you're already at close to plus 60 food or 60 food plus, and can hurry up and get the fish out. And Romans also here are great because you can get a border push going with the fort. You can tower the hell out of everything. So I love these nations for this map.
Yeah, I think going into it, we felt like this game, at least, the nations were pretty similar. I would give, for me, I slightly prefer Mongols over Japs on this map because Mongols, part of their power, if you read it correctly, it actually, it works so the less land map there is, the mass there is, the more food there is. So this is one of those maps that doesn't have much land mass comparatively compared to, full land maps. So you can actually get away with, 1 or 2 farms, especially if you get a good city spawn. Japs, I wouldn't count them out. I also think Indians are really strong on this map. Just being able to afford so many elephants is really, really strong. So definitely keep a lookout for that. Let's take a look at where the players are located. We have on the top side the green Japanese player, PLA Seoul, who's already getting up that 5th farm nice and quick. Then in the middle, we have the blue Chinese player, PLA Old Cat. And then on the bottom side, their teammates, the white Indian player, PLA Wolf. Right across from PLA Wolf, we have the purple Russian player, AS Ethapera, that's myself. And then in the kind of center-ish, we have the orange Mongol player, AS Mastercon. That's Sheer. And then in the very right pocket, we have the red Romans player, AS Mad Duels X Ernamillo. So a pretty interesting set of places where the players have spawned. What do you guys think? Where do you think the first cities will go? What do you think the build orders will be?
Well, I can see that so PLA Seoul, he actually just pinged the map in the middle here. But as you can see in this landscape, it's really going to come down to Seoul. He's got a bit of an interesting position. He's safe, but he also needs to impose his will a bit because if he doesn't, he's leaving his allies potentially a bit vulnerable. If he can set up a front there of, say, Seoul as green player and Old Cat as blue, they could potentially double against Khan here, or they could double against Russia by, just ganging up at the bottom as well. So I think it's going to come down as well to what Mad Julius does here and where he sets up because he's way back safe. He could probably build a Colossus there as Romans if he wanted to. But if he leaves his allies and hangs them out to dry, PLA could take advantage as well.
Yeah, definitely. Old, what do you think? Who do you think this the city placement favors, and what do you think the strategy for each team should be?
Yeah, I love what Old Cat did here. I'm guessing what they did is they read the map early. They realized, okay, we got water. Get that huge Chinese city in the middle there. That's just going to frustrate, take up a lot of the mountains. And as Kron pointed out, this could be an easy double against Pair here at the bottom. They could really put pressure on the Russians. So it might be wise to get some early Civ here to take up some of this before these for AS, because if Old Cat Civs, it keeps pushing, border pushing, it could really separate and they can isolate you completely.
Yeah, definitely. Let's take a quick look at the ruin counts here, and as I'm looking, my library time is insanely slow. Let's take a quick look at the ruin counts here. Looks like it's fairly even. I'll give the slight edge to AS here in terms of ruin counts, but it does. I will say that's not really affecting it's only one measure of player speed. My library is the slowest out of everybody. Anyways, let's talk about the rares quickly here. So we'll start with PLA's rares. On the top side, they have cotton, way above Kyoto, and then it's still in Seoul's territory. There's furs, there's citrus above Beijing, and then copper right next to Beijing. Those are going to be nice rares. There's gems in the back. In the very back, on the left side, there's diamonds as well as sugar and wine. And then right between Old Cat and Wolf, there's dye right tucked in that little corner there. For AS, they've got Pappy right next to AS, the Paris capital. There's Spice above that, and Obsidian to the right. And on the back side, there's Marble and Salt. Above Namilo's capital, there's Horses, and then between Sheer and Namilo, there's Relics. There's Bison in Sheer's territory, and then there's Silver on the very top right side of Sheer's territory. So, what do you guys think? Who do you think has the better rares for Outback? And we also,
I'm gonna have to give.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd give the edge here definitely to. Oh, look, it's not too bad. It's not completely imbalanced, but I'd say PLA overall, they can't be unhappy with their rares they've been blessed with here. I mean, having furs, they've just got a good variety here, like sugar, diamonds, furs. Obviously, that's a good baseline to go off. You got gems there, such an important rare to have gems on this map with territory. And then you're mixing in a couple of knowledge rares there with dye or potentially dye, which is kind of contestable. And also, you've got wine there behind. I just think for AS, they're pretty reliant on knowledge rares, or they've got silver too. So the longer the game goes, it's probably more in AS's favor. But just they're up against it a bit here with the rares.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I'm just thinking about the trifecta of Silver, Relics, and Pappy. What do you think, Gold?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with Kron. Especially, I love citrus and copper on this map, and you can see.
Oh yeah, those are
got
great.
Both.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's just terror on the water if it's used properly. So let's see if PLA takes advantage of that. Yeah, but it's not that you guys completely are out, because having Pappy right there at Moscow is a lovely sight, and Relics in the back there, and maybe you could sneak in and use this dye and get a quick Civ too, because it's a little bit contestable. You could tower it maybe.
Yeah, we do see some early mills from both the tier 1 players. Sheer Khan's gone for mill early, has a bowman out, whereas Soul has also gone for mill, but he has a slinger and a bowman. And it looks like Sheer's also going to go for civic here.
But neither one's attacking the water. I usually like to see at least a couple barks out early and start harassing. If you're going to go mill 1.
We do see a city going down for Old Cat. What do you guys think about the city placement here on the top side?
Yeah, it's a really good location there. I mean, that was quite an important territory to defend. If they lost that territory to, say, a Mongol city, then, they completely cut off from Seoul. Whereas now that they can reinforce straight across the line. So, really good placement there.
Yeah, and again, it secures citrus. You can see Old Cat's going right to citrus. Going to drop a merchant there, and my guess he's going to start going heavy in the water.
We do see Seoul already queuing up a bark here, and that's going to be bad news for Namilo and Sheer here. Looks like Namilo's saving up to go Commerce 2 based on the money that he has, or he could go for a quick age. He is going to use Pappy to get that cheap Science 1 research down. Let's take a look at what Wolf's up to. He's just gone for Commerce Civ and gotten his second city. They actually haven't scouted Dai yet, but they will at some point because it's like right there.
Yeah, knowing Namilo, my guess is he'll probably quick age and go Colossus. That's typically his move.
Yeah, you can see. I hope I'm not ahead of you guys, but it looks like Namilo is angling towards, aging up straight away here.
Yeah, he clicks up on the button. I'm at 809 right now. He actually wasn't able to use silver, but his age time is still quite fast, 814.
Yeah, he skipped 7 mil. There's plenty of food. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And he used Pappy. Yeah, he's going full Colossus. I mean, this is typical Namilo move, right? It's like I said, it's like a Coal-Fired Junior move. You're back way far in the back. You don't have to worry about raids. You can just kind of boom along. Just don't get too greedy. Just get the Colossus up and start getting ready to get aggressive here soon, because PLA likes to fight.
The water raids begin for Soul. He's got a single bark out. Let's take a look and see. Take a look and see what AS's response is. Namilo's just pinged it out, and it looks like he is going to go for that Colossus. Yep.
Yep, Colossus does go down here. And I mean, he's basically pushing all his chips in the ring and saying, come at us, PLA, because, basically the longer this game goes, they're going to be in a dominant position. Romans with Colossus, that's obviously a good combo to have.
Nasty.
Big skirmish here on the top side between Soul and Sheer. It's Slinger against 2 archers on both sides. Sheer is going to try and snipe the citizen, but it looks like Soul actually wins this fight. Just slightly out micros Sheer there, and I think his units were also less damaged. And now Old Cat's here with an archer. So that tower's going to finish, and that's going to eat that barracks for free, which is an unfortunate loss for Sheer. And it's also a very aggressive tower. Like, this kind of screws up Shear's caravan route, I think.
Yeah, it might. He could probably No, I don't even. Temple might not even get to it because that Kanazawa city is a pretty good spot. So yeah, this is a great temple placement here. And now you see Old Cat's gonna drop one too.
Yeah,
for
more aggressive towers. I think this is a sign that they're going to be aggressive. On this bottom side, this is a nice little raid from Wolf. Usually you don't really raid the Russians player, but if they're just letting you raid them, which either pair looks like he's doing, you can go ahead and deal some damage. It looks like he's gonna kill off this Pappy merchant from Sheercod for free. And they're still skirmishing on this side.
That's frustrating. Yeah, all you gotta do is get 2 citizens in there, pair. You just fight these off.
Yeah, I don't really know what I was doing at this time. I think I had noticed a little late, but that's definitely a mistake on my part. You know, losing a Pappy merchant. Now we do see the ping coming out, and I think I managed to save that if I remember correctly. Another very forward tower for Wolf on this side. PLA just getting very aggressive with those tower placements. One thing I will say, they haven't done a great job scouting. If you take a look at the map, AS have done a much better job revealing their opponent's side of the map and also their back line than the PLA folks. So.
Oh yeah, and that temple did come down from Khan, so that's perfect.
Yeah, he's gonna get that tower going. He's gonna be able to put that first tower in, both towers actually, in his own territory. If he can get up an age and get his senator out, he might be able to sneak a bribe. Really quickly. He was forced to make a bunch of units, and Milo's now here with the barracks of his own. Gonna finish up that Colossus momentarily.
Yeah, I think Namile's economy, it's going to take a while to kick in, and the issue immediately for AS here is that if Sol and Old Cat decide to turn up the heat, actually, as I say that, it looks like they may not, but if they decide to go with a Despot all in here against Mongols, he's been slowed down a lot here. I don't think he'd be able to necessarily stop that without massive help from Namalox. So
yeah, and here we do see Hanging Gardens being dropped by Seoul. Looks like they're content to just play a longer game. I'm not sure about this choice here. I feel like just getting aggressive early, as they've done a lot of damage to Sheer. You know, he has the lowest score on the AS team. Just being able to be aggressive early and deal some. You know, maybe just put the finishing blow on a already weakened opponent might have been the smarter choice.
There's some great counter rares up top here from you, pair. I like this double bark on the top being pretty much uncontested. There's a trireme coming now, but you've done some good job harassing and forcing their fish out, so that's good.
I actually totally forgot about this raid. Okay, so yeah, I will clap myself on the back for that. Good job, pair. Looks like everybody's just getting their tech up, getting those production buildings down. And it
looks like Sol was able to save that tower. He got his temple down now, but Old Cat's tower is still bribable.
Yeah, I don't know if Old Cat's going to be able to save that one. You know, part of why it's so far in Sheer's territory is because capitals give more territory than regular cities. So that's why, even though it's a large city, the territory is way pushed like this. And it looks like we're going to see some Republics coming out of the players. And actually, on the bottom side, Wolf's actually gone for Civic 2 before Senator. Pretty interesting choice. Where do you guys think he'll Civ?
I mean, I wouldn't have... Yeah, it's a very fast Civ 3 here, or Civ 2. It looks like he'll probably Civ at the back, I guess, because he doesn't really have that much territory he can try and nab. He could try and Civ near Moscow, but yeah, up against Russians, you're not going to get too much territory there.
Yeah, we see here Namilo trying to raid with a single bark, but that's going to get shut down by a trireme from Old Cat. And Old Cat is using citrus, and I wouldn't be surprised if he uses copper soon, because those are big advantages. Actually, we do see a counter bribe. Looks like Sheer bribed the tower of Old Cat, but then
it's a good job by Old Cat.
Old Cat bribed it back. Really nice play from both players. That's exactly what you want to see in these sort of higher level games.
Yeah, there's a lot of jockeying for position, and some great water action here going on. This is about as proper as you can play on this map. Just constantly harass water. You got this front position, constantly battling, putting pressure on Karakorum. So this is going to be really interesting how this keeps unfolding.
And we do see Mill 2 finish for Sheer. He's gotten 2 nomads out. He's going to have a siege factory. On the opposing side, Old Cat has also gotten his Mill 2, and I think Sol will probably click on Mill 2 very soon. And I think we're going to see some aggression, or at least a lot of skirmishing from both sides here.
Yep.
Yeah, it
looks
looks like
Wolf's trying to put some pressure here on Sevastopol, but it looks like Sevastopol's got the range here and is going to snipe this tower, so that's nice.
Yeah, and actually here on the backside, it's still Old Cat raiding in the back. He lost a trireme to a heavy ship, but this Bark's still doing mad work. It's just being really, really annoying. Citrus helping out a ton here for PLA. And the raiders here from Sheer haven't done much. They're going to get caught out by some archers. Might be able to keep one alive, but I think this one's going down here. Yep, it does go down.
Looks like some nice raids there by Pair as well. You can see on that wood line.
Oh yeah,
Old
this
Cat.
cataphract. Yep, it's definitely annoying.
Yeah, Wolf needs to research militia here. I think that would give him enough range to actually defend Sevastopol. Maybe not, but his tower is just getting sniped here.
Yeah, I mean it's a slow slow push. It's gonna take a while for this tower to completely take down. Especially considering Pear only has a single archer. Would really like to see him get a second archer in that city to, increase the fire rate, because it's currently 1 out of 2. Now we do see Old Cat pulling his units away, so he can militia and try to fight it out. And it does look like both players are microing decently. Pear trying to move his units away so he doesn't get killed by these militia. But that's a lot of lost mining time for Old Cat. A lot of timber lost.
Civ 2 coming for Pear here, so let's see where you get that second city down. This will be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see an elephant raid in the back here for Wolf. Really nice work from him. This is exactly the kind of play you want to see. Again, even though you're against a Russian opponent, you still got to raid them. You still got to be annoying as much as you can. And elephants are kind of ideal for that because of their giant hitbox. It's really hard to kill them, even with attrition. So it looks like he's going to pick off a citizen and maybe a merchant here. Yep, he's going to pick off this merchant as well. Nice work from Wolf there.
Yep.
We do
the
see
tower's finally going down.
We do see the siege factories here. Go ahead.
Wolf's really setting himself up well, because I mean, one thing when you play Russians is that Russians are great for annoying you with their territory, but they can't really apply a lot of pressure. And so I think Wolf's just taking full advantage. He's basically maxed out every single rare on the entire map. Really good eco, good 14 scholars in place, and yeah, you can see that he's starting to come away with a monster economy here.
Yeah, I mean that economy, wow, it's really there. 143 wealth income. Compare that to the 88 of Pear, who's also missing his second caravan here. And it does look like Pear has chosen to civ on the bottom side. I think that I remember civing there because I wanted to protect my wood camp, but
yeah, I mean that's about the only place you can civ really at this point.
Yeah, otherwise I could just go to the right, but I don't think that would help out too much. And it looks like all the players are actually getting ready to age soon. If you take a look at all their libraries and knowledge incomes, most of the players are maxed out on knowledge at least, and scholars here. And we still see the water battles happening on the backside. Old Cat's still not using copper, which is a bit of a mistake, but that citrus again is really being useful. And this tower's still getting sniped down slowly.
Ooh, yeah, citrus is great on this map because you can just hit and run. You just hit, then go hide in the corner, heal up, come back again, and just keep doing it over and over. It's very harassing. And now we got a couple ages coming here.
What were you going to say, Kron?
Yeah. Can we just do a quick time check?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm at 17 minutes exactly. Okay. And it does look like Seoul's going to press the issue on Kai Feng, the city on the top side. Sheer's going to age up. I think he's going to finish the age because Old Cat's not currently charging. And Sheer has a slightly better army anyways, and Emilo's also here. And now I'm at 17-12 here.
Yeah, brilliant. I can sync using the stream now, so perfect. I can see that, yeah, at the top here, it does look like Seoul is going to press the issue, but yeah, it looks like he won't have any luck at this point because
Medieval Age is finished. This lookout and tower are going to go up, and that's going to make this city, well, it's not going to quite make the city large. He's only gotten 4 buildings, but he will be able to do that easily. And on the bottom side here, Old Cat's also pressing the issue. I think he's sieging the university right now because he realized, okay, I actually don't have enough army to siege to kill the city if I went in. So I guess I'll just siege the university or something. On the bottom side here, Pear is doing a nice job of raiding the diamonds merchant in the back. His raiding party is going to get killed by this cataphract though, so that's going to be the end of that raid there.
But it was a good raid. Got all those merchants out. That was nice.
And now here, Wolf is finally starting to siege the Russian city. He's sieging from his own territory, which is really nice. So you can heal with Senator. But look at this border push. This merchant of Old Cat's just gonna completely get destroyed there. Wolf does finish aging, and he's gonna start teching up.
There's a little bit of a blunder by PLA. They still haven't scouted Sugar out. Sugar's just hiding in the corner there.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for them. That's a pretty big rare, especially for an Indians opponent where, for an Indians player where, Sugar's one of your best rares. And Kron, also
Sugar
quick...
with furs, and if you had horses, man, you get those cheap elephants, cheap mill.
Kron, quick point about the stream on YouTube. It's going to be like 10 seconds or so delayed or something like that. It's like a pretty big delay on YouTube, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think it's about 20 seconds, so I can actually use that and just add 20 seconds on. So
okay, cool.
That's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like. Oh, see this as well. You can see that. Looks like. Is this Namalox's troops in the middle? He hasn't upgraded to crossbowman yet.
Yeah,
so
and that's a big blunder from his part. He needs to get that crossbow upgrade and also the knight upgrade, because right now his troops are getting massacred.
Huge,
yeah. Shear's gonna come here. He's gonna be upgrading his knights. But this is a big blunder for Namilo here. Shear's university was taken down, but it looks like Shear's gonna be able to snipe some of these crossbows here because Old Cat just doesn't have enough army, doesn't have enough pikes at this point.
And now Soul pressuring again at the top. He's got free pressure on Kai Fang. Let's see if he can do something. He is targeting now. Looks like the lookout.
Yeah.
Now he's back on the city.
He didn't take the lookout out. That's interesting, but I mean, I actually don't mind that. Like, taking out the lookout is pretty handy because that's such an annoying thing to take out after you've, leveled the city. But it only takes about 5 or 6 hits, so might as well.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Here we see, just having more crossbows in a fight like this where you're constantly skirmishing is really, really good. You can see that Old Cat, despite having not that many units compared to his opponents, he's still able to trade decently well. And that's just because he has a lot more crossbows. On the top side, we see a big fight between Soul and Shear here. I think Shear's going to lose it. He doesn't have enough units compared to his opponent, who has a fully teched out army. And the raids in the back still continue. We see medieval age ships finished up for both players. Old Cat is using copper and citrus, while Soul is just using citrus. Nana Milo's here. Nice rotation from him on the top side to Kaifeng to try and save Sheer City there.
Oh man, it's all happening here. You can see Namilo's coming across. He'll definitely save the day here. They should have enough combined armies to hold off Soul, although Soul will, probably retreat without too many losses. But I'm a bit concerned about our friend Eat the Pear at the bottom as well, because look at that Indian army.
This is a very large army.
It's huge.
This point, I remember, I think I was caught with my pants down a little bit. I just didn't have enough production buildings to produce enough units at the time, and I was because I skipped my barracks I think until like halfway through classical age. So I just didn't have enough production at this point, and so you can see just compare the army sizes. It's like Wolf has double the army size, and he has an elephant thrown in there. So really big deal there.
A fort here would be ideal. You could get a fort up there.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got peacocks too, so he's maxed out army with elephants as well, which really count favorably with population. But look at his crossbow count; he's got like 10 crossbows.
Yeah, and that's really going to be good. Although he doesn't, his supply wagon is a little bit, it's going to be hard for him to really make use of it. And this tower and lookout from Pear are doing a good job keeping him together. Now Pear is going to go for a charge. I realized that he was out of position.
Good micro from Pear there. Good job.
Although I did lose my entrenchment, which was unfortunate.
No, it was fine. It worked out because they held their ground and they started forcing them back. You got to push them on the retreat until you snipe some more units. So it worked out.
Yeah, that was a good outcome. But yeah, look at the top now as well. Soul is just basically putting his vice grip down on Khan here by the looks of it.
Yeah, and he's going to go for Science 3 as well. So it's not like he's going all in or anything. It's just Shear's pretty far behind. Look at his library compared to Soul's. It's going to be really tough. Also, army sizes. I mean, Soul has more than double the amount of units as Shear does.
And you see Old Cat now is using copper, and he's dueling at the top here with Namilo.
Looks like neither player really microing there, but it's fine. And we see more skirmishing on the bottom side between Pear and
It
Wolf
looks
here.
like Kron might lose the city here.
Yeah, it does look like it. There's 2 towers here in the front, which is going to help out a lot, but does look like Seoul's going to be able to take that city, and that's a big deal. That if he can take the city and really secure it, that's silver taken. That's the caravan route for Sheer messed up. That's all these scholars being forced to relocate. That's really, really important city to take for PLA there. That's a big win for them. On the bottom, in the middle here, we see big skirmish between oldcat and Namillo. It looks like Namillo's ambush was effective. And oldcat's caught up without enough pikemen to deal with all these knights.
Yep, good work here from Namillo to get in here and just charge down these fire lances and crossbows. They can't deal with these knights. And the legion.
Say, yeah. That was a bold attack. I mean, he had a lot of Roman heavy infantry as well, but no, I'd say he definitely got his money's worth with that attack.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems with Chinese compositions. Oftentimes, if you spam fire lances, you just don't have enough food to produce enough pikemen, which I find it's kind of problematic, especially when you have smaller armies. But it looks like Seoul is mopping the floor here with Sheer on this side. Sheer's doing his best to kite backwards, but Seoul's army is just larger, and Sheer's no longer fighting on his own territory. This tower is going to go down soon, and that might be the city of Kaifeng being firmly established in PLA control.
Yeah, like you said, they're going to take silver now. He's got Hagen Gardens. He'll get Mill 3 here soon, I'm sure, and he'll be in a position to age relatively soon for Seoul.
Yeah.
But Namillo's not too far behind either. He's using the Colossus pretty well. He's got maxed out
240 wealth income, but he's only at 74 metal income. But he is getting up his smelter, so I love to see that. So he'll have his economy maxed out soon. On the bottom side, it looks like Pear took a good fight that I missed. Because you compare the army sizes, now they're more similar than they were before.
Yeah, it looks like you're finally bouncing back. Pear's got a nice size army now. Still no castle, so no Mill 3 yet.
I think I do have a castle in my capital.
Oh yeah, I see it. Moscow. Never mind.
Yeah.
I take it back. So yeah, you have armor. That's good. And now you're rotating up to the middle here. It looks like you're going to come clean up Old Cat.
Yeah, because I think at this point what was happening was, on the top side, Namillo and Sheer are going to try and take back the city of Kaifeng, and Seoul's like, okay, I don't want to fight against 2. So that makes sense, right? Now we see Old Cat trying to pressure the capital of Karakorum, and so because I just want to fight, I was like, okay, I'm just going to rotate up and try to make something happen.
And then another underrated power of the Russians is cheap spies, half price. So I see you got a couple out there. If you could just spam a few more, you get 5 or 6 spies right there, you could just bribe the hell out of any counterattack. But it looks like Wolf being a little passive here. He's missing an opportunity.
Yeah, and I hear Seoul, I think, is a little slow in the retreat. I think they would have been fine if they had both just safely retreated. Seoul just straight up force marches back. But now Old Cat's gonna get caught out by all these Russian cavalry here, and he's gonna lose a lot of units for this blunder here.
No scout here from Wolf. Got these spies here, still not using them yet.
Yeah, and
you
here...
can take that elephant, take that heavy cavalry.
Yeah, and Wolf's going to just charge the city, and this is a mistake from Pear. He really needs to get another citizen or 2 to just repair the city. He only has 1, which is going to not fail at getting the job done. And Wolf still has a pretty big army, despite lack of sieges. Pear's going to rotate back now. He does get 1 bribe down on a crossbow. But the city is captured.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal because you just got a plus 175 plunder because you're Russian. So that's actually one of the Russian advantages. You can kind of sacrifice your buildings and cities, and it doesn't really hurt you too bad because you get that plunder bonus.
That's a good point. I mean, maybe that should be a strategy. It's just you build a city and let your opponent take it just to get that sweet plunder.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely can be used as long as you can take it back because you don't want to give up a strategic city. But in this case, it looks like Pear's going to be able to take it back. And now we're seeing the middle age up also.
Yeah, and the water battles continue on this side. We do see both sides making units. Namillo's actually raiding from the bottom side as well, raiding coming all the way around. Wolf does have tactics now, and he's going to get his Explorer upgrade, and he has sieges to start sieging down those towers from Pear. And on the top side, more skirmishing. It looks like this time Sheer's going to be the one that gets caught out, although Old Cat doesn't have that many units. Seoul is getting kind of run over by the Colossus army here.
Yeah, this is a massive, I don't know what is going on, but the red army and green army are literally like standing in the same patch. It's like they're friends and then they turned enemies on each other.
Yeah.
slaughtering. I think Namalox though, he might have overextended because he literally just chucked all his units right next to the PLA armies there. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
Sol lost his like entire army, but now Old Cat can clean up the remainder of Namilo's army, and this is exactly the kind of play you want to do against Colossus' opponent. You never want to just let them boom. You want to constantly trade, constantly attack their army, their economy with the sea raids, and it's kind of peak play from PLA here.
And good work from Pear here at the bottom here. You just came back, took your city back, killed half of Wolf's army, killed his elephant. So great job. And again, this is an advantage of Russia. A lot of people don't understand. You lost those 2 towers, you got that city captured, but you just got all that plunder back. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really hurt you too bad at all. And you're going to be able to position to age here very soon.
Yeah, it does look like Shear's definitely hurting for economy right now. He only has a single mine going, doesn't have a smelter quite yet, but he will have it soon. But Namilo's just booming along. He's finished aging. Sol and Wolf are both aging. So definitely scary. I will say Sol doesn't have an army right now, so it's not too bad for him. But Wolf, with those upgraded elephants, man, those are a nightmare to deal with in Age 4.
Yep. And PLA is all clicked up now. So that's going to be
Yeah, I'm at 27-25 right now. 27-25, and Old Cat just clicks up. Yep.
And Old Cat's going heavy in the water at the top too, which is nice to see. He's just constantly going at Namilo.
Yeah, and Sol here. I mean, these are a lot of boats. Let's see, 8 boats total, but both players using copper and citrus.
Yep, and they're all going to go gunpowder. There's going to be even more powerful ships. It's going to be very frustrating in the water here.
Yeah, I'm impressed that AS has managed to basically turn this around. I think they were in a potentially losing situation a little earlier on, but I mean, look at it now. Suddenly, Namalox is just boomed up like as if he's the richest man in the world right now. Look at his eco, it's just crushing. He's got 27 scholars, but most importantly, he's not ever going to be pop capped with that Colossus. So this is where he can basically put those resources to good work and just hopefully mass up what was a promising Colo army before. Took a bit of a hit, but I'm sure he'll get some serious units out now. Let's see if he's getting his Monarch too. Looks like Monarch's coming out as well. So yeah, that's going to be the full force of the law here coming down from Romans.
Yeah.
And you see Pear is doing great work harassing in the middle at Beijing. As soon as you age up, he's going to have a good shot here just to get a cap sack. Because Old Cat's got a pretty small army considering he's invested a lot into the water. And
yeah, and Sol has no units right now. His army is really non-existent because he took that fight in the middle. And his economy is just not, unfortunately, just not able to support building that many ships as well as that many units on land. He really needs to get more units going in a large army because at this point, Old Cat's pretty vulnerable against even just Sheer and the Milo there. And on the bottom side, Wolf's doing pretty good for himself. He's getting his upgrades. He should click up on Monarchy soon. Yeah, because that's an insane upgrade for elephants. Yep, he does click up on it. He has a couple elephants and a pretty decent infantry-based army so far. That's exactly kind of what you want to see for that kind of army.
Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble here.
Another big skirmish. This time, I think Sol is taking this fight a little early. He just doesn't have enough units to handle it. And Old Cat's still upgrading his units, so this is looking to probably promising engagement, but instead it's going to be PLA walking away from it with a loss.
And again, Old Cat's just investing heavily in the water and just not enough on the land right now. I mean, I appreciate the water race, got to keep busy on them, but you need that army on the land at this later stage of the game if you're going to do anything. The water raids aren't going to have the same effect. Because if you look at Namilo, Kron, and Pear, all you guys max flashing yellow at 200 food. So these water raids really aren't going to do that much for the gold even.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I noticed too is you can see that at the bottom here, Wolf with Indians, like in some ways, I think he's got a lot of responsibility on his team because he should be the guy pressing the issue. He's in his favorite age now, age 4. And if you look at his army composition, he's still got a lot of crossbowmen kind of left over from before. But the problem is they're not as effective in age 4 anymore. So, he wants to try and swap them out, but he needs to kind of transition his army across. It looks like he's about to poise for an attack though.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for the charge. I'm at 30-17. It looks like he's just going to walk straight in. I don't know about this. There's a lot of spies here, but he does have at least one
He's
scout.
got 3
So
scouts.
yeah, he's gonna be able to stop at least some of those bribes. But at least one bribe does go down in an elephant. That's a big deal.
Yep.
Not sure who's gonna win this fight. Pear also has a lot of crossbows and not that many units. He is floating a lot of resources, but that's because he was pop capped earlier. But that just sounds like me making excuses, huh?
No,
Yeah,
I mean
it's
a close fight. Yeah.
it does
Yeah,
look
you didn't
like Wolf
replace the
is
towers
gonna take
either.
the city.
You gotta
Yeah.
get those towers replaced. It would have been nice. It would have helped you a lot.
Yeah, city
yeah,
does
no,
go down here.
Wolf is in control here at the bottom, momentarily.
Oh, he actually loses the city back. He hasn't gotten to the back belly of Pear's army here. It's the juicy, all these crossbows and some arquebusiers.
Yep.
Wolf really needs to push in and with some cavalry and get going. But now it looks like Namilo's here. Maybe? No? No, Namilo backs off. He's going back top. And it looks like Wolf's going to be able to take the city, at least momentarily.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why Nomilo just doesn't put pressure on Beijing. It's relatively undefended, and the Senate's not raised. So
Ooh,
Big fight here at the top. Sheer is going to try and back off, save some of his units. Whereas Namilo, he's going to just rush headlong. He's going to finish up Mill 4, have armor. But this is a lot of heavy cavalry for Old Cat. I don't know about this.
Oh man, Namilo needs to check himself before he wrecks himself here, because look at that.
He's getting absolutely wrecked here. Although his cavalry are doing a pretty good job holding the line, but his Colossus army is gone. He's only at 109 population now. And then
Man, he had an awesome army. Nothing wrong with what he did. It's just he just needed to be on sync with Khan. Khan was running away while he was going forward. So
although Khan does have a pretty decent army himself, so and Old Cat took a lot of losses, Old Cat and Soul there, but unfortunately it does look like, unfortunately for AS, it does look like PLA have won that engagement. And on the bottom side, somehow Pear held.
yeah, Pear did a great job microing back there. Good job. You need to get those towers up. Get them up quick.
Oh, I think what happened here was I sniped the supply wagon and then the Monarch, if I remember correctly.
oh, nice.
Because I took back the city momentarily, and I was like, okay, I'm not winning this fight unless I, get my attrition going, and then sniped him there. Does look like PLA have the slight advantage on this top side now, although Old Cat, again, gonna just throw away some of his army. He really shouldn't be fighting without Soul there to support him.
Yeah, that's a waste of units right there. No point, no sense whatsoever in what he just did.
Yeah, he's gonna lose some sieges. He's gonna lose a couple more infantry. And it does look like momentarily AS have taken the advantage again top.
Yeah, this game is just the gift that keeps giving. I mean, it's just going back and forth, and that makes for a great game to cast.
Yeah, and still we see Old Cat just doing absolute havoc on the water, and that's actually hurt Sheer and Milo's incomes actually a little bit. You can see the wealth starting to slip a little bit for Sheer at least, and he's being forced to make units in the water.
Yeah, you see Wolf now at the bottom. He's putting together a nice army. Doesn't come back to Sevastopol. It's going to be trouble.
Yeah, he is only at 92 population, but he needs to get more units going. And in fact, his economy is not actually great. Like it's not maxed out at 200, which is a little confusing. I'm not sure why it isn't maxed out at this point. He also doesn't have maxed out scholars this late in the game. You really need that. His army does look a little bit more formidable than Pear's right now. Although, and it does look like both players have their second armor upgrade. Pear's going for it now, which is going to be really important.
Yeah, the interesting thing here as well, if you contrast Pear versus Wolf, is that Wolf's only got 185 knowledge income right now, whereas Pear's got 320. I don't know if my maths is correct, but that's almost double.
Yeah.
And it's going to lead to a much faster age 5, of course. So it's kind of like what we talked about at the start here. All those knowledge rares are really starting to show their worth, and having Pappy there as well, it just means you can sidestep those science researchers and get the library upgrades.
That's because that's the power of that Science 4 literacy upgrade. Looks like Wolf's going to go in for another charge on the city. I'm not sure if Pear has enough to defend this time. He has a pretty big army, but that is 7 Gundam here. And these spies are not going to do anything against the 4 explorers for Wolf.
Nice. Yeah,
Both
nice
players have
there
their
by
armor
Wolf.
upgrade. It's going to be a battle of punching each other in the face until one of them passes out, right?
That's a lot of Ellies, man. That's a lot of Ellies, but you can see the Russian cavalry are coming through behind as well. So This
Yeah,
is
that's
too
nice.
too close to call. Too close to call. Need to get those
You guys-
Ellie's dead before you
If you
can.
get that Monarch sniped, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and in fact, I think here his Monarch was a little bit out of position. It's just a little bit too far behind, so his elephants didn't benefit from that armor upgrade. Quick look at the top side, more skirmishing here. It looks like this time Namillo took another bad fight because his population is low. The Old Cat's population is also pretty low, and it looks like Namillo's winning back the water here on the bottom side. He's got a couple ships there.
Yeah, he's starting to push back now. Counter. Yeah, just some great battles down here at this Indian-Russian border.
Yeah, and like here, Pear's really struggling for population and army size, but so is Wolf. I mean, these elephants are great, but you know, it can be really tough to continue producing units, especially when he's not maxed out. He only has 156 food, and it looks like not enough production
that's
buildings.
tough. Yeah, he needs to get some more fish out. Get his gold and his food up to max.
Although it does look like Pear is retreating. These gun mahouts doing really nice work. Not sure if Wolf can still take the city, though. The tower is rebuilt for Pear here.
Yep, just got to repair, maybe put a second tower and get some more spies again. Just keep bringing spies back. Keep replenishing your spies. Snipe their scouts when you get a chance.
Yeah. I think at some point I invested in Dragoon upgrade because I thought that would be good. And that's something that I haven't tried before, but you know, it's not bad because you can snipe key units like the Monarch or the Supply Wagon, that sort of thing.
And the scouts. No, you're right. The Russian Dragoons, they still get that plus 25% against Supply Wagons and Siege also, even though they're ranged in it.
On the top side, PLA is pressing the issue, but it looks like their armies aren't too large, whereas Namillo, Sheer doesn't have much of an army because his economy is getting thrashed, but Namillo's continuously pumping out units. You look at his knowledge, and he's going to be ready to age very soon, especially if he reuses silver. On the top side, still more water battles. Looks like Namillo's going to lose this one. Old Cat invested in some more ships there.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, it's really going to come down to Namillo. He's going to be the first to age, and can he really control that? Soul's not too far away, but Namillo should be able to age first, and that jump to enlightenment is just pretty significant over the gunpowder units.
Looks like we're going to see a charge here in Karakoram, the capital. Not sure if AS is going to be able to hold this. This castle's in a pretty good spot because it's pretty far back, but yeah, it's going to be a pretty big fight here.
Not close.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win this one. Looks like Namillo has a larger army. Everybody has armor upgrade.
This is always a fun match at the Praetorian Guards versus the Samurai.
Yeah, it looks like Old Cat's trying to micro backwards. I think his front line got ravaged though by all these by all Namillo's knights. He still has 9 of them. But in Old Cat's defense, he does have spies coming out that are doing some nice bribes. But I think actually PLA are going to lose this fight because they just can't get to the underbelly of AS's army here. All these arquebusiers in the back that are doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you can see these Praetorian Guards just coming up, and they're just slashing away. They're really getting the advantage here on the Samurais.
Yeah,
and that castle looks like it's going to hang on too, which is important as well because he's trying to siege it down, but only with one bombard there.
Yeah, I'm at 37-25 now, and yeah, it looks like AS is going to take the win on this side. And I think that's just because PLA just didn't have quite enough units, and the way their armies was positioned, it was a bit unfortunate for them. They weren't able to access the underbelly, right? Like all these weak units that are weak to cavalry of AS, all these arquebusiers that are vulnerable from the AS side.
Big fight big Russian fight here as well. India's flaring up again as well.
We see a big fight. I don't know if this was an ambush or not, but it's a big fight, and it looks like Pear's gonna win this one easily. Actually, Wolf just doesn't have enough heavy infantry to hold off all of these cavalry. I mean, look at how many cavalry Pear has.
Yep.
That is impressive. the power of horses right there. And good food income too, so well done.
Yeah, 2 heavy knights is going to do trouble with a Monarch.
And on the bottom side, Old Cat's still raiding the bottom side. I mean, they're just wrecking the fish income of Sheer and Namillo, and you know, now look at Sheer's economy. It's kind of suffering. He's at 136 wealth, 165 food. You know, it's not really ideal. We still see PLA still trying to press the issue. I'm not sure if this is the best idea. I think you just want to build up and get a larger army because they're kind of suffering for population. But
I see Namillo getting age 5, so these Praetorian guards are going to turn into to the Fusiliers, and they're just going to start slaughtering.
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal. And Namillo's shot up way in score. He's 1,000 points ahead of the next person in line. Does look like, I'm not sure if, yeah, I don't think PLA are going to be able to take this city because of all these arquebusiers that are just continuously being annoying and chipping a lot of damage into their armies.
PLA is just going to be late to age here. I think it's going to be tough to do.
Oh, on the backside, you see Old Cat snipes the Colossus with a bombard.
Oh, nice work.
Yeah.
That's a big advantage there. That's going to help.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Pear's on the top side now. He's going to try and help out his allies with that big cavalry army, which is another advantage of having a cavalry army. It's just really mobile.
But fortunately for Namillo, he hasn't really needed the Colossus too much. If you look at his population, it's not going to take too big of a hit. So he's going to be able to bounce back. He can get mill 5 needed, and then just rebuild a big army.
Yeah.
That's massive though. That's probably the first time I've seen bombards sneak down to the back lines and take out a Colossus. It just makes you wonder, in the future, should Namillo have built it more inland, trying to see 4 or 5 ages ahead that this could happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the odds of those bombards getting back there is so low,
Yeah.
So
it's
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and it looks like Wolf was trying to punish Pear for his rotation, but just didn't have enough units to really seal the deal. He needs more infantry, actually. I don't know why he's massing so many heavy knights. You just want cavalry and infantry. You just want elephants and infantry, basically. That's the ideal Indian army.
Yeah, it does feel like, Wolf is kind of now being punished, I guess, for the fact that he didn't boom up enough when he needed to earlier on. I mean, Indians are such a great nation for booming. You should get that 200 eco. And he's still kind of just, catching up where he should have been a long time back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it. You just want to get units out. That's probably why he's going to heavy knights, because he's got a good metal income and a decent gold, so he can just sell a bunch of wood, get a bunch of heavy knights. But those free upgrades from those elephants with the monarch, it's just, you need the elephants, really, especially in gunpowder age.
Let's take a look at how the PLA players' libraries are going, because it looks like Pear is also aged up. Soul's going to finish aging to Enlightenment now. And it looks like Old Cat's still a little ways away. He needs to get... sorry, voice crack. He needs to get that fourth city with scholars going to really have a chance of catching up. And it looks like Wolf's going to be able to take the city again of Sevastopol. This city... How many times has this city been traded now? Like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah, it's been a complete front, so it's... Yeah, definitely it's back and forth down there for sure.
But I mean, but well played though. He's getting out of there because he knows that he would have his ass handed to him if he tried to take on Russians plus Romans there, especially Enlightenment.
Yeah.
So,
especially age up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It would just be a slaughter with those Fusiliers. I mean, Wolf shouldn't be too far away from aging up here as well himself, but that's really, I think, their main hope at the point is to get the upgraded elephants, and Enlightenment elephants are just next level.
This is a moment of surprising silence. Everybody's punched each other in the face so much that everybody just needs a moment to rest and recover for a little bit. Everybody's building up their armies once more.
Yeah, you can see.
I still like AS position here. I mean, Beijing's still pretty exposed, and Beijing hasn't taken really any damage at all. They've been focusing on Nanning, and I get it. It's a little more in front. But you have all this open space here just to the west of Karakorum. It could put a lot of pressure on Beijing. There's nothing there to stop it.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's actually no castle at the front for Old Cat.
No tower, no castle. So
he does have a tower
be easy to take.
And a lookout, but...
No, I'm saying, but not in that front position there.
Oh, yeah,
that open area. Yeah.
And you see Old Cat is doing a bit of booming himself. Porcelain Tower going down, so...
Yeah, that would help his economy a lot. I mean, he can get up to 270 economy if he finishes up that porcelain tower. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that. Look at these.
Yeah, here comes that double on Beijing.
Yeah, Paris catapults there. Namillo's got an upgraded gunpowder army. Let's take a look at Soul's army here. He's got a pretty decent army himself. He's gotten those upgrades going. Old Cat just isn't in place.
Beijing, yeah, look at Beijing. It's crumbling right now. It's going down the fastest I've ever seen for a large city.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
there's 5 sieges pounding on it right now.
Yeah,
that is a gangbang right there in Russian
yeah,
Nations.
this big trouble here. Just caught them out of position. Wolf's gonna try and rotate in now with his H4 army. I guess that's gonna be tough for him.
Yeah, I mean, these elephants are definitely going to help out a lot, right? But it's really
It's
tough.
not enough.
Now we see all
Not
6
enough.
players gathering in the middle for one last stand on Beijing.
Yeah, this is the right move.
And these
And,
gun samurai are actually doing mad work on this side for Seoul here. They're really shredding Namilo's cavalry as well as
Yeah,
Shears.
they're great units. They're great units.
And Wolf is he's just not being forward enough. He needs to push in to try and keep Shear off, or keep Pear off of his allies' backs. Because now all these cavalry from Pear are just charging in.
Yeah. And it looks like Wolf will save the cap temporarily.
I'm at 43.05 right now, yeah.
It's gonna be close.
And it looks like Old Cat just took a lot of losses because he just doesn't have the tech and the economy to keep up.
And he's still aged down, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be real tough for him.
Wolf does take
And if
the
you
city
look-
back with all these elephants, but I think that's just because Pear's army is a little out of position here.
Yeah, it's too little, too late. I don't see how Old Cat's gonna survive this in the long run. Because Pear and Namil are gonna keep spamming units. Khan is, he'll be fine. He'll support where he can. He's gonna age pretty soon. And Old Cat's, he's in big trouble.
I mean, look at his
Yeah,
economy. He's really struggling
Yeah.
right now because he lost all of that center mining and farms and stuff.
Yeah.
He's really struggling. Seoul's just spamming out units, trying desperately to keep his ally alive, but I think this game's
I think
over.
it's too little, too late. Yeah, too little, too late.
Yeah, do you guys think he should have built his Senate back, maybe?
Yeah, I think he left it way too long in front. I mean, it's fine to have it there originally, but he could have raised it, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. I feel like the fact that he's Chinese, because a large city is so hard to take in early ages, but I mean,
Yeah.
we just saw how quickly that city got leveled. It was like,
Yeah,
just,
it was like melted. Yeah.
melted, yeah, for such a
Yeah.
city. And just thinking, yeah, once it gets to that late ages, yeah, it wouldn't have changed the outcome, but yeah, definitely could have
It
built
would
it
have
back a
helped
bit.
at least. Yeah. And then also
Yeah.
a bit of a blunder to go for a porcelain tower there. He could have been spamming units.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think he's right to go for Porcelain Tower because I think he realizes he's like a little bit behind in economy and he needs to get his economy going. But and he's taking a risk, right? Like he's like,
Yeah.
and GG is called by Old Cat, and yeah, that looks like it's gonna be it. Wow, a 45-minute game.
What a fun game.
That was, yeah, incredible game. Well played by both teams. And yeah, it was such a back and forth, I must admit. Yeah, I think the bookies odds would have been changing several times throughout this game as it was being played, because I really generally thought PLA were in a commanding position there at one point. And
Oh, for sure. They for sure were.
AS just held it out, took full advantage, and then, yeah, just those rares really helped. You can see in the age times, like age 5, AS were all well ahead, despite the fact that PLA Seoul came in 3rd place, but yeah, he had the Hanging Gardens, which you'd normally think would be first. So
Yeah.
very well played.
And let's take a quick look at the kill count here. It's actually Namilo with the most units lost, and Sheer. Both of them, they have less than 1-to-1 unit kills versus units lost, but that doesn't say anything. They were still able to hold their side, which is what counted, and then it's with the rotations, right? Those are what really count. And here we see Pear with 9 city captures and 5 city losses, because Wolf is just taking back Sevastopol 4 times in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do kind of think, I don't know, it's hard to analyze this game, but I feel like PLA, they maybe missed an opportunity with, just not going for that Hanging Gardens at the start.
Yeah.
Because they turned this into a nice, long, drawn-out boom game up against a guy with, a safely protected Colossus at the back. Whereas,
as well as
you've
Pappy
got Rush,
and Silver.
Yeah. And it's
Happy
a
is-
Roman Colossus, so you get that just fast gold. It's tough.
Yeah, I just feel like they missed opportunity because they could have easily, in theory anyway, doubled the slow Russian opponent. They
Yeah,
did
that's
put a fair bit of aggression on the Mongol player though. So in fairness, they they kind of followed that strategy. It's just they threw in a Hanging Gardens as well, which a bit of an insurance policy, but it led to a long drawn out kind of stalemate there for a while.
Yeah, I think this game, I think Wolf would have really benefited from going pyramids or something early, and just like securing a longer game boom, because we saw at the end there, he was doing really well in the beginning, but he kind of just like tapered off at the end. Didn't have enough economy or tech to really replenish his army.
Yeah, and his micro just wasn't there either. He could have did a lot better if he just microed a little bit better.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to wrap up game number 1 here, and we're going to take a 5-minute break here before we jump into game number 2 to give our casters a little bit of time to rest. So hope everybody's enjoying the stream thus far, and we'll be back in around 5 minutes, so see you all then. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are back from our break. So we saw a pretty long and drawn out game number 1. Pretty close game, but AS did eventually take it. Now we're gonna cast game number 2. Hope everybody's enjoying the stream thus far. And I'll shout out some people in the chat. I see Krishna. We theorize that could be Coldfire. Hello. We see Nuts and Spiridon. How's it going? And we see King Amaya as well. Hey, how's it going? Hope everybody is enjoying the stream thus far. We're going to jump into game number 2 now if you guys are ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to load it up. So again, this is the Nordic Classic semifinals. This is AS versus PLA, game number 2. All right, I am at 1 second when you guys are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yep, ready to go.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, so it looks like we are on another Outback game. Outback leading to some of the more exciting games, at least in my opinion. Let's take a look at the players and their nations. We have AS Namilo with Chinese, AS Ethiopia with Lakota, Sheer with Iroquois, and they're up against PLA Wolf with Spanish, Seoul with Americans, and Old Cat with Mongols. What do you guys like? Who do you think is favored on this map?
Ooh, I mean, I must admit, yeah, Lakota, not as good of a map for them to get. They're a beast nation, regardless of what map it is. So don't get me wrong. I'm sure that Lakota is a good pick here, and they'll do well. But I think certain other maps they can get more of an advantage with the second city. But yeah, I'd say overall, it's a tricky one. I mean, I just feel like PLA is kind of probably lucked out a bit because picking Spanish on a random land map, they've got their water map, so that's a big tick for them. And then Americans can be massive beasts, as we all know, if they can get a Colossus down. So, and Mongols, yeah, we saw how well they went last game. So, I don't know. It's classic aggression versus more like a mid to late boom kind of nations here.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah.
I give it to PLA edge. Spanish, Mongol, American. That's amazing for this map. They have a very fortunate break here. And we saw PLA rated well in the water last game. I'd love to see Wolf get a couple early triremes out and just really harass the water. So yeah, I give the slight edge to PLA for nations.
All right, yeah, so let's take a look at where the players have spawned, because that's going to be pretty important. On the bottom right side, we have the green Chinese player, AS Mad Duelist X or Namilo. To his right, the red Iroquois player, AS Master Connor Sheer. And then on the top side, the blue Lakota player, AS Ethiopia. That's myself. Across from him, the purple Mongols player, PLA Old Cat. In the pocket, the white Spanish player, PLA Wolf. And on the bottom, the yellow American player, PLA Seoul. So, what do you guys think? Who do you think this early city placement favors, and what do you think the build orders will be?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting setup. I mean, if you look at it, basically, they're all wide apart from each other, except for this front line here between Lakota versus Mongols player. I feel like that's advantageous for the Mongols player here to a degree because as Lakota, you get a lot of comfort from having your wood camp nice and safe and way behind enemy lines. And not to say that, Lakota here won't build that in a safe position, but it is kind of an advantage of having that first city back a bit. So immediately going to be under pressure there. And I do feel like if the other teammates build off that territory, that's going to be the big decision because whether they want to try and secure this middle territory, which becomes such an important factor in Aussie Outback, is going to be critical to how this game plays out.
Yeah, I think it's just an unfortunate spawn there for the Lakota. You typically want to be further back as you can, and just to be right pushed up on a border push, it kind of takes away their power a bit. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. In my head I was like, this sucks. Like, why did I have to spawn right next to the Mongol player of all things? But that's sometimes the luck of the draw, and that's what happens. I think for at least the Americans player, I think Seoul's not going to be too unhappy with the spawn. He's very far away from everybody else, which is exactly kind of what you want with Americans. You want a lot of space to just get your Colossus or Hanging Gardens or whatever, and just boom up, get that nice quick start going.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
take-
interesting. Did you
Yeah.
guys see? Sorry, jumping ahead a little bit here, but with oldcat, just look at his tech choice here, and when he builds commerce.
Yeah, he's gone Commerce 1, but where's his dock? I don't know where his dock is. He went for another farm over. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm at 351 right now.
Okay, perfect. Yep, no, all good.
Huh.
So,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
as you were saying, there.
I guess he was. I don't know. I guess he's going for another farm. Let's take a quick look at the ruin count here. Yeah, this is a yikes. Okay, so in this game, I was really tilted because I got 3 ruins scouting with like 10 villagers, and that's really a detriment to the Lakota power. Right, a lot of their powers they get those early scouts going. They get a bunch of food ruins, and then they get a really nice quick start. But you can see that I'm the lowest score by far, and that's just because I just didn't get many ruins. Which is, both sketchy scouting on my part and also, just unfortunate just not being able to grab those ruins.
There's just not
Yeah, I
that
think-
many ruins on this map either. So you're just
Yeah,
gonna
this
get-
map. Yeah, it's just a product of Aussie Outback. It's a great map in every respect except for ruin hunters, in which case it's not much to find.
Do you see Old Cat gonna go for a barracks here? Probably. Yep, he's gonna get that barracks down. Going for Commerce Mill, which is pretty expected considering how close they are. It's kind of what you want to do, especially when you're Mongols and you definitely can afford to go that early commerce. Let's take a look at how.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if he does raid Lakota's wood camp, which it looks like he's probably going to do, yeah, again, that's just really terrible news for Lakota players because Lakota is such a beastly nation, but honestly, they're kind of like this super strong thing, but if you can get an Achilles heel there, they kind of suddenly become really weak. So it just kind of depends on whether, Eat the Pair here can identify this and get his own mill up and defend.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has the money for mill, but he could also go Civ. He's going to go mill. Good job, Pair. And we do see Wolf actually went Civ first. This is a pretty interesting choice. Usually you don't go Civ first on this map, but it looks like he really wants to secure that relics that he does see with the power of Spanish, and get a nice forward city placement. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, and it's also going to cut off, Lakota's second city. You're going to have to maybe build down or back. So they're just going to take that center of the map. This is a great map. You want to take the center, as we saw last game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they might even grab that relics too, and the Pappy, kind of both critical rares, as we saw how it played out last game with those two.
Yeah, and
for
here,
AS team.
Yeah. And here we see this is a bit of a mistake from Pear. I'm kind of just walking my villagers in one by one, and the problem is Old Cat's just able to pick those off with these archers. I think he's already gotten 1 kill, and that's going to be really annoying, especially when Pear is trying to bring all these villagers back from scouting. It's just going to be annoying to lose those early on. That hurts your food income, that hurts your later metal income, all that. And let's talk about the rares quickly, and I'll use the Spanish player as a help for myself. So for PLA, they've got Silk on the top side, there's Gems right next to Karakorum, there's Relics to the right of Salamanca, and then there's Wool directly below Karakorum. On the left side, there's Diamonds to the left of Karakorum, there's Dye next to Madrid, there's Silver in the back left corner, Pappy up to the right of Frankfurt, Sugar between Washington and Frankfurt, Obsidian below there, Copper as well. There's Salt, which is closer to the AS's side. For AS, they've got Salt, Bison, Cotton on the bottom side, Furs and Horses next to Beijing, Wine, and then Spice in the back over there. So what do you guys think? Who do you think has better rares?
Oh, PLA, man. PLA have the better rares, I feel at least.
Yeah.
Because especially if they can secure that Pappy, they got Sugar. They haven't even scouted it, but they got Silk at the top. If they can scout Silk, like Silk is just like...
Well, they have
number one
They're
Spanish.
rare.
Spanish,
so
yeah.
They don't need
Oh,
to scout
of
it.
course.
Yeah, they're
Of course,
good.
of course.
Yeah,
they're good to go, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so they'll ping it. But they're not going to miss it. They're not going to do like one of those ones where it was just under their nose the whole time. I feel like PLA, they've been blessed by the rare gods for this particular game. They had decent rares last game as well, I feel, but it looks like it's 2 for 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't count AS out of it though. They do have pretty decent set of rushing rares. We do see Cotton is not bad. Salt is good. They have Wine and Horses as well. But other than that, they're kind of short on great rares. I mean, like think about it. like what would you say are the best rares in Rise of Nations? You know, especially for Aussie Outback, it's going to be, you know, diamonds, relics, pappy, silver, sugar, gems, and silk, especially for Outback. So, you know, PLA have all of those rares aside from maybe relics and pappy, which are a bit exposed. But, you know, it's going to be hard for AS to really combat those.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
I
see
think-
that. I'm checking in the chat. It says that Cold was mentioning that if you just go with 50 or 54 food income with Lakota, get the library and comp fast. That's kind of the way to take advantage on this. Yeah, so that's a little pro tip there.
All right, well, maybe I'll implement that later on. I didn't realize. Okay, cool. We do see raids in the water here from Pair, 2 light ships using whales as well, but they're going to get stuffed by this Spanish heavy ship that's free, as well as this light ship from Soul there. I went for a dock in the back thinking that they would fish on Old Cat's side so I could be annoying, but looks like that didn't happen.
I feel like for
for
AS here, like you got to think grand picture. Like if they realize what's going on and what rares they're up against and what nations they're up against here, probably the one weakness is being up against Spain. Spain's a little bit slower, and it's probably an easier target because of that Ford City. And they have the holy trifecta here of salt, wool, and horses here. So I mean, I don't know how the leadership team is of AS. Maybe you can provide some insights there, Per. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I noticed early on that they have better rares, and I was like, we need to rush. But that's rushing is hard when you take this much early damage. I mean, let's take a look at how many kills each player has. Look at Old Cat. He's gotten 5 kills, and that's all Pairs, merchants, and citizens. That's gonna slow him down a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, great rating in the early game just sets the tone for the entire match. And it does kind of feel like PLA's got a lot of momentum, even at this early stage, and they've got rares behind them as well. So just everything is going in the favor of PLA so far.
Yeah.
Having said that, though, there's absolutely every chance that AS can turn this around. It's just,
it's
I feel like
momentum's not in their favor for sure.
You got, you know, having that Spanish is a big advantage right now. So you can see all those rares, utilize all those rares. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one for AS on this one.
Look at the center in the middle of the map. Old Cat's going to finish up his mill 2 and get up 2 stables. That means a lot of raiding units, and none of the AS players have aged. They're not. They're close, but then they haven't aged, and that means these cavalry raids are going to be really devastating. You know, obviously the counter is you build a stable and then light horses, but these nomads are really fast. They're really strong raiders, so I'm expecting them to deal quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, that's a super fast double stable there. I mean, geez, 10 minute 20 mark. Like, no one in their right mind is going to be ready for or expecting it quite that soon. And you can see that there's already plenty of units out there on the map as well, just you know, archers and slingers. So, and a heavy infantry as well. Geez, this is yeah, just really good play by Old Cat.
Yeah,
super
I mean,
aggressive.
He's going to be able to deny this tower and start attacking these citizens. Although it looks like, okay, yeah, he goes back for it. And Soul's going to go drop that Colossus just to secure the late game. They didn't, you know, it's not like they needed it, but they're going to secure that late game. And now Old Cat's going to start doing some damage. The nomads are split up, which is a good choice. He's going to pick off this wine merchant already. This tower is going to get denied for sheer here, and
yeah, these nomads are just such great units. I mean, you can see the damage they're dealing. It's really frustrating.
Gonna go for the back wood line now for sheer, and sheer went calm 2, which is a good choice, especially if you want to get aggressive. You can go for that calm 2 despot, as some players love to do, but it's really hard when you take a lot of damage. He's gonna lose some citizens here, definitely, and also lose a bunch of resource gathering time. He loses 1 there. This tower is not gonna finish, and this is just absolutely devastating here. The other wood camp is also denied for Namillo.
Yeah, geez, this is just the PLA guys. They really sat and had a good look at themselves in the mirror after game 1, and they've come out guns blazing here so far.
Yeah, and I think this is the right way to do it. Just get that immediate momentum early, and just get AS on your heels so they can't boom at all.
Yeah, and let's take a quick look at the kill count again. Old Cat with 12 units killed this early into the game, and also, you know, Soul and Wolf also helping out.
Yeah, this is just great raids here from Old Cat. He he's not playing around this game. He's coming out
No,
guns blazing, as Kron said.
Yeah, and all the rares that AS have, they're all getting rated. You know, it's not like they can use any of them basically. Even though they have decent rushing rares, it's not like they can really make use of them because PLA is just doing a great job rating.
Yep, and again, you see the power of Spanish here. Just not the Spanish themselves, but they're able to point out the rares for their teammate, and this is a perfect combination here. Get those nomads out and just raid. You can tell where all the wood camps are too, so you don't even have to scout that. You can just say, hey, there's wood here, go check it out. Go look for these other rares here. So this is just big trouble here for AS.
Yeah, does look like Shear's gonna get that despot going. I think I suggested this to him if I remember correctly. You know, you really want to go despot early like this because you have to make something happen, right? Your opponents have insane rares. You're behind early. You have to maybe give yourself a chance to win rather than just give them time to boom and they're just gonna win regardless.
Yeah, right. And plus he's commerce too. So I mean, I would say even if you weren't on the edge, yeah, Despot's a great choice with commerce too on Aussie Outback. And what nation is he? Iroquois. Yeah, Iroquois is great with.
Great. Yeah, because you just get back in the neutral territory, you can heal anyways, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's like having a senator and a despot in one.
Yeah.
That's like the number one reason I don't like going despot sometimes. It's just that sweet healing you get. But I mean, yeah, in this
with
case,
the Iroquois, you can still get it anyways. Yeah.
Perfect nation, as long as he's not using that ambush. Which
W's ambush, just force march, or maybe decoy once in a while. But force march is ideal. Those units moving fast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, force march is so good with Iroquois already going fast. It makes them like Olympic Usain Bolt sprinters.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this rush is going to work out because I mean, look, Sol is already getting his militia. He's getting his archer upgrade. And I mean, his economy is really doing really well, especially this early. And we see Wolf is raiding in the back, just absolutely destroying these fishing ships in the back there.
Ooh, nice raids by Pear. Sniped the senator for Old Cat there.
Yeah. I think at the cost of a horse archer and my heavy cavalry, which is not super great, but it's better than nothing. Getting that 100 wealth is definitely helpful.
Yeah, and you can see that it looks like Old Cat's starting to get his, he's getting ready and getting his militia up soon by the looks of it.
Yeah. He sees those catapults there, but now Wolf is here to support. It's PLA who are the ones doing the rotations this time. And on the bottom side, it does look like Sol took a bad fight against AS here, but he's actually going to be able to pick off this catapult because Namilo's just moving around, it looks like.
Yep.
Some good action here in the middle here, just like we saw last game. Nice early battles.
Yeah.
Constant action.
And we do see Sol's got an attrition, which is going to be really helpful, especially considering Namilo went for senator here.
Yeah.
Still, actually, this center position, right? It's really, really helping out PLA here because now Wolf is able to rotate bottom again, and keeping while Pear can't really do much except for siege the city at the front.
Yep. It's definitely hindering your guys. It's a nice choke point for them to fight through.
Yeah, and this is kind of like similar to how last game played out, right? It was Pear with the center position last time, and he was able to rotate back and forth, and also have Namilo come in when needed. But this game, it's Wolf the one who's doing the rotating back, just up and down, just being really, really annoying. And now AS looks like they are driven back on the bottom side.
I do like the way AS are playing this so far. I mean, they're giving themselves basically their best chance, and you can see that Pear's got a good eco going there. At the same time, Wolf he's still a bit weak on his eco. He's getting it up there, but this is kind of getting flashbacks to what happened in the last game. He had heaps of rares, but he just never got his food income quite up to that 150 or 200 mark as fast as he should have.
He is only at 120. He really needs to make a couple more fish and also just fill up his last farm there. But he has a pretty sizable army. Would love to see him get that archer upgrade because it does look like it's pretty clear that AS are going to be aggressive early. So would love to see Wolf, get his upgrades and get more units out because he's floating a lot of resources. Although he looks like he just spent it.
Yep.
Yeah, he does have attrition though, so that's going to be annoying.
Looks like we're going to see another rush for Seoul's army, but it looks like he's going to be fine there. And there's only 2 sieges here for Sheer. His Despot's out of position. Nice micro here from Seoul, just kiting backwards constantly. Now we see Wolf kind of rotate down. He's going to be able to age soon, actually. And, you know, even if AS take the city, you know, what are they supposed to do? Sheer's pretty behind in terms of tech. Namilo's still quite away from aging. Nice bribe from Seoul there. On the top side, looks like oldcat has driven away Pear for momentarily. Nice forward tower from Pear. Clasped myself on back, but
yeah, you can see oldcat is probably making a bit of a blunder. I don't think he needs to be attacking in the face of that tower. I'm not sure if he's just wanting to show his might and push back Pear there. But yeah, he's just getting peppered by that tower, and I mean he's losing so much HP just by unnecessarily putting his army in harm's way.
Yeah, he does have a larger army, though, if you take a look at how filled his barracks is compared to Pear's. But that forward tower is definitely helping out Pear quite a bit.
Yeah, good position there. For sure.
Oh man, these PLA guys, they have God mode res though. That it's starting to show its might too. Those gems even, like, so handy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at this border push right at the front here on the right side where oldcat put his stables. Does look like Wolf is going to age up, and I'm at 1753 right now.
Yeah, perfect. But still, nice eco there from Lakota, so that's always handy when you see 150, 150. And yeah, it's going to come down, I guess, to that middle phase of the game now where we're going to start seeing people aging up. And this is perhaps where PLA will start to swing more into their favor as far as being able to assert some dominance on the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. When those cities go large, they're just going to take up more land. It's going to be very frustrating and just really put AS on the heels. I think the window's starting to close here for AS. They got to make something happen here real soon, or it's going to be GG.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, I think it's going to be really tough because, you know, we see Seoul has a very large army, like probably a similar size compared to Sheer and Namilo here combined. So it's going to be really tough for them. And we do see on the top side, Wolf and oldcat are positioning to try and take Mandan? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Sounds accurate enough to me. I'm not sure any of us can speak Lakota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but yeah, it does seem like, and I mean, the other thing too is that all the PLA nations have crossbowmen, so that's huge because there's 2, you know, Native American, Iroquois and Lakota for AS here, so they're only going to get
heavy archers just aren't great. Paris started the age there, but the sieges are coming in for oldcat, and Wolf also has a siege, starting to siege down the city of Mandan. Man, I'm just gonna call him Mandan for now.
Yeah, Mandan. Let's run with that.
And Seoul is aged. He's getting his crossbow upgrade. He's getting light cavalry upgrade and trebuchet upgrade. He'll be rolling soon. I mean, Colossus. Look at this Colossus economy. Plus 210 timber, plus 199 wealth. You know, he's gonna be spamming crossbows for days.
Yeah, that's gonna be big trouble here for Namilo in the middle.
And the sieges are gonna finish sieging down Mandan. Wolf and oldcat have charged the city. Paris close to aging, 90%, 95%.
Oh man.
And he does lose the city right before the age finishes.
Oh, that's always the most frustrating.
And that was the nail in the coffin, I think. The militia are pulled, but it's a little too late.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see while that was all happening too at the bottom, it was actually quite funny. Seoul did an ambush into 2 armies there of Master Khan and Namilo, and then quickly retreated. But
yeah, and GG is called, and that's gonna be it. Really well played from PLA.
Well, again, they got the fortunate break there, right? I think they got the better nations for this map. They got the better positioning, you know, and of course all the rares. So it was just perfect storm for PLA to bounce back. This is a good win for them, get their momentum back, get their confidence back up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think AS could have done too much differently. They played the hand they got pretty well.
Pretty much.
Perhaps it's just, I guess, if in hindsight, if they could obviously go back and do it again, somehow to avoid being in that terrible position they were in after those raids, whether that's reading the minds of PLA and knowing they're going to raid and preparing for it accordingly. But yeah, just PLA, just everything they did in this game was pretty much the perfect counter to what they needed to do. So.
And that kind of, even though we say like, okay, sure, they had great rares, whatever, that still speaks to their strength. They basically gave AS no chance to win the game, because you do have a higher win percentage, right, if you have great rares, but you have to make sure you actually you actually play well in order to get that win going, and that PLA did that. They did a really great job. Getting that, making sure AS had basically no chance of winning this game. So well played by them. All right, so that's gonna set the score to 1-1, and we are gonna take another 5-minute break before game number 3. Hope everybody is enjoying the stream thus far. We're just gonna take a 5-minute break, so we'll be back soon. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. We are going to load up game number 3 now. Score is 1-1. Game 2, pretty much summary. PLA stomped AS that game, so well played by them. We're going to jump into game number 3 now, and again, we do see some of the better nations kind of drying up. We can see on the screen here for viewers. For PLA, they still have Turks, they have Germans, but some of the other nations not the greatest. For AS, they're kind of also running up. They also have Germans and Turks, some of the better nations, or more commonly picked nations, are running out here. Let's load up game number 3 here. All right, got to switch to Rise of Nations. For those of us just joining us now, welcome to the stream. We are casting AS versus PLA. This is the semifinals of the Nordic Classic tournament. All right, this is AS versus PLA, game number 3. All right, I'm at 0 seconds when you guys are ready.
We're ready.
Ready, locked and loaded.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so we have a different map this time. It's Himalayas. For those of you who don't know, let's take a look at the players and their nations. On the AS side, we have AS Mastercon or Sheer with Koreans, AS Ether Pair with French, AS Namillo, Mandulas X with Germans. On the other side, we've got PLA Wolf with Turks, PLA Soul with Aztecs, PLA Old Cat with British. What do you guys like?
Jeez, it's like the NATO alliance here for AS versus a bit of a hodgepodge mix of various nations on
little
PLA
motley
side.
crew there. Yeah,
a bit of a motley crew. But I got to say, look, the one that stands out is Turks, being such a strike kind of nation. Turks combined with British and Aztecs, I think that's got decent potential. But I mean, this map is really in the favor of AS because it's so hard to attack. It's so constricted. Good for a defensive nation like Koreans for sure. And then overall, I'd give a slight edge to probably to PLA, but this one's pretty hard to tell. Yeah, it's situational.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, really, Himalaya is just a tough one because you can't really rush unless you're really, really close. Depending on where they spawn. So it's just tough to really utilize the Turks. Efficiently.
One of the strongest early pushes that in Rise of Nations and Nomad is Turks plus British, right? You put your sieges down and you just spam a bunch of British archers because it's basically before anybody gets mill 2, so there's no counter to it unless you just pull all your militia, because you can't build heavy cavalry without mill 2 because it comes out so early. And so that's a really devastating push, but you're right, you guys are right. Himalayas definitely is a more defensive map. It's definitely more situated for booming, so I think that does favor AS a bit. In this game, going into it, I thought about the past series of PLA of the games they've played, and we decided collectively that we would pick Koreans this game as a counter to Turks because we thought they were going to pick Turks, and that that did end up paying off here because we see the Turks pick from the PLA, but it's not entirely certain if that's going to pay off. And with an Aztecs player on the PLA side, anything can happen, right? If they get a couple early kills, they can really snowball the game. Even if the early rush fails or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to come down to where Korean, where Kron builds his second city, I guess, as well. So I'm sure we'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, that's going to be definitely key.
Yeah, sure. We can start on the right side for PLA. We have the White Turks player, PLA Wolf, on the right side. In the pocket, the green Aztec player, PLA Soul. And on the left side, the red British player, PLA Old Cat. Across from Old Cat, we have the blue German player, AS Namillo X, or AS Mad Duelist X. In the pocket, we have the orange Korean player, AS Mastercon or Shere Khan. And on the right side, we have the purple French player, AS Ether Pair, that's myself. So yeah, what do you guys think? Who do you think this favors in terms of who's in the pocket versus who's in the wing? Because this looks kind of like a standard map spawn, to be honest. Everybody's kind of spread out equidistant.
Yeah, I think the way this plays out, most likely anyway, it's probably going to come down to victory might be determined by which of maybe a bit of a 2v2 between Aztecs and Turks versus the French and the Korean player. Because I feel like on the left-hand side, by and large, British and Germans probably cancel each other out, and I can't see them, killing each other too soon, just with these choke points here. Whereas the ability for Koreans and French to work together and firstly defend any Turk aggression, and then secondly trying to counterattack that, and also the French raids behind the enemy lines too, is going to be critical here. So that's what I'm going to be keeping my eye on as this game progresses.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. I think that's a pretty good assessment there.
Yeah, for me, I think, going into it, I was thinking about it more, and I think the more I think about it, the more I think it's fortunate where our city spawns are. It's fortunate that the Korean player got put in the pocket, because no matter where the opponents go, you can always have the Korean player support both sides easily by sending a citizen over or two. And it's also unfortunate for PLA that the Turks player is not in the pocket. Having an advantage of the Turks player in the pocket is your opponents don't necessarily know where you're going to go civ early, basically. So, but now, it's clear that, Turks can just push this side. Maybe they'll send sieges over to the left side with olddirtyh there and get that British Turks aggression. But, overall, I would say the city placement slightly favors AS, all things considered, but I don't know. Let's take a look at the ruin count here. Does look like it's fairly even overall again. Wolf is trailing a little bit behind, but everybody else has at least 4 ruins, so that's going to be good for them.
Yeah, I think the key is going to be, like you said, it's playing against Turks is the most nerve-wracking thing you can do in this game, because you just don't know where those siege are going to pop up. And if PLA want to play this cute and they want to do something a little bit out there, they can definitely build the siege on the left-hand side. They could go for a triple here, and I wouldn't be overly shocked if they went for something like that, because I believe that, they're all part of PLA, and we've seen, the senior PLA team, the first grade team, I guess you could call it, in Nomadium and other tournaments where they've come up with really great team play strategies. So, and it's hard to play against that. So critical for AS here is going to be scouting, finding those siege, and trying to get intel on what PLA are up to.
Yeah, definitely. And at this point in the game, this is part of the game that everybody's played a zillion times. You go Commerce 1, then Civic 1, and blah, blah, blah. I was reminding everybody, okay, when you go to Classical Age, research Republic, and then you also need to make sure you get a tower, get militia, and then use your senator to scout. Because that's really, the counter to Turks is not built. It's not like spamming towers or spamming units. It's scouting. It's knowing where the Turks player is going to rush you, when they're going to rush you, if they're actually going to rush you at all. That's really the best move you can do. Sol's going to go for an early mill one here at the barracks, while the Milo's going to finish up his second city here.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with what you're saying there, Pep. Basically, look, in short, scouting is a huge part of any RTS game. And I feel like in Ron, we don't really give it as much respect as it deserves. But you should never be surprised by anything. That's the short of it.
Yeah.
If you can do that, you can generally counter what your enemy's throwing at you. Yeah. So it's the same in StarCraft and Age of Empires, all these other RTS games. It's such a critical thing. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of reiterate that.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is an interesting build for Sol here. So he's going to mill 1 before Com. He's going to drop his barracks on the Milo side.
Yeah.
So I guess they're going to maybe try a double here, or at least feign a double.
Yeah, not entirely sure. Side. Let's take a quick look at the rares here. So for PLA, they've got diamonds next to London. There's also citrus to the left. Above that, there's copper and relics. And then next to Techno Titulon, there's horses and cotton. Those are really good rushing rares. There's dye and salt to the left of Istanbul, and then there's Pappy above them. And then there's bison below Kanka, obsidian, 2 obsidians actually in the middle, and then sugar smack dab in the middle. For AS, there's tobacco on the left side, there's silver right next to Luttich, silk to the right of Berlin. Bottom side, there's gems. Next to Sol, there's peacocks. There's furs on the bottom side as well as wool. And then to the right of Eat the Paris Capital, there's spice, and on the very right, there's marble and amber. So who do you guys think? Who has the favored set of rares here? What do you think?
It does kind of feel like everyone gets a prize here. I mean, everyone's both teams have decent rares. Nothing's overly jumping out at me as well in favor of one or the other. What do you think, Goldie?
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing too sexy here. It's just kind of like a normal game. And I think that's going to make things more interesting because it's not going to be reliant on the rares. It's going to be reliant more on the gameplay and the use of the nations.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say, we do see here some really nice rares for PLA. First of all, Diamonds is awesome in pretty much any situation, especially for British. And also, you see Salt and Horses and Cotton for a potential aggression. From,
Yeah, that could be a good rush.
It
Yeah.
could be really good, but I wouldn't count AS out of it. They have Silver, which is really, really awesome. Gems, which
Yeah,
is
Silk.
actually pretty good. Silk is solid. Bison's actually pretty good for if you're getting rushed and that sort of thing. And they have wine, they have furs. They're definitely not out of it. But I think I give the slight edge to PLA in terms of rares.
This is a frustrating raid here from Seoul. Good work on Berlin.
Yeah,
Just
really nice
harassing.
work. I'm not sure. I'm gonna take a quick look at the kill count here. Looks like he hasn't killed any units, but he's just denying a lot of mining time for Namillo here. Namillo does have an archer finally, so he's gonna be able to drive these hoplites away. But Soul's split up his units, so he's going to be raiding in different parts of the map, which is really nice for him as the Aztecs player. You just want to get those early kills and try to deal some damage and also snowball. And Shear's
he's
chosen
heading
to
straight
Civ
for
on the
those.
right side.
Oh yeah, that's a nice sieve there. You can see that those gems are going to get raided by those Aztec archers, so should pick up some bonuses there as well as denying it. Yeah, tower going down here by the looks of it by Wolf.
Yeah, and that tower's going to deny Bison and also pick away at this market, which is going to be really good for him. Although I will say he's kind of hurting for food income. He's getting up his farms now, but really needs to get there. Also, unfortunately for PLA, they haven't scouted Horses or Cotton. Both of those pretty good rushing rares, but they just haven't scouted them, unfortunately. Would love to see Seoul do some lookout scouting and just ping both of those, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Looks like Soul's gonna get this gems merchants here, or at least kill one of them maybe.
Yeah, he's going to kill mine,
Harass the other.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, sweet prince. The rest of the merchants might be able to walk away. I think this one might get killed off. That's Namillo's there. But Namillo is aging. And he has a pretty quick age time using silver, yeah.
Yeah. Even though he skipped science, it's fine. Let's see if what he does here. I mean, he does have Colossus money, but
I don't know if that's going to be the right move with 2 on his side.
Yeah, here we see another great raid from Seoul. Just going to pick off that Peacock's merchant for sheer. Is a little out of place. The market's in the right spot, but the merchant wasn't to be able to garrison quickly. Might be able to get another pick off if Seoul's paying attention. Nah, it doesn't look like it. They're just going to walk away. And then this archer is still in the back line being annoying. Looks like Shear's put his barracks on the left side, but his city's on the right side, which, it kind of makes sense. You can reinforce with citizens to repair on the right side if you need, but you can put your units on the left side, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's an interesting tactic, and you can see that looks like Namalox is aged now, and he's building a uni, so no Colossus spend just yet.
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Which
yeah.
I must admit I was surprised by. I was half expecting that he'd plonk that down.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
I was telling him, like, don't go Colossus, like, we're against Turks and British and Aztecs, like, they're rushing, like, let's not get ourselves too antsy. But he's just going to be playing standard, getting up his stable, his university, and his senate. Probably going to go for senator as well, so nice work from him.
Yeah, it looks like Wolf's just going to be a bit passive here. No mill too early, so you're not going to see any quick siege going out.
Yeah.
Not sure what his strategy is here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. He's just getting up his production so far. He's his tower at the back.
Yeah, it's almost like he's playing defensive.
Yeah, not
Two
entirely
towers. Yeah, almost kind of like a mini boom scenario here. I mean, they do have the decent rares.
Yeah, I guess he
And
thinks
he
he can just sit tight for a while. It's not like he needs to rush or anything necessarily, because they do have pretty solid long game rares, relics.
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, he's got French and Koreans. I mean, French can be pretty aggressive, but Koreans aren't really known for their aggression. So I guess he's just thinking that he can just hold out and maybe let them kill the other side. That's the idea.
Maybe, I don't know. But he is the tier 1 player against the tier 2 player, so I don't know. I think if I were Wolf, I would want to put a lot of early pressure on. He is going to
Or
go for
just
Senator.
yeah, because I see the mill 2 coming here now from you pair. That's going to be nice. Some
Yeah,
early
I'm at
aggression.
12 minutes exactly, and yeah, the mill 2's finished. And this is a game where I was like, okay, we're going Despot, definitely, because I was worried the other side was going to die, so really wanted to get my aggression on. And also, French are probably the best Despot nation, in my opinion, so
Yeah,
want to get
the
aggression.
healing and
Yeah.
the wagon. It's like the
Yeah.
double healing. It's just, it's nice.
And it's not like I have the greatest rares for it. Furs is obviously great, but the rest are, I just have a couple wealth rares. But you don't really need that many rares for French Despot. You just need like a couple
No.
wealth rares to get your wealth income up. Siege Factory coming along. Yeah. Let's take a quick look at the other side. It doesn't look like Old Cat's gone for Despot. I think that's a good choice considering he has diamonds. He's already at 137 max commerce cap, so it's not like he needs more commerce cap on top of that. He can just get his Despot going and start getting aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Pear needs to be careful too. Well, it looks like he'll be aggressive, so it looks like it'll work out. But just having his military buildings there so close to Turks, if Turks gets the upper hand there, then yeah, that stable and racks would be in the firing line as
Yeah,
easily
you're right.
picked off. Yeah.
But it does look like I actually have Ether Pair has sieges out before Wolf does. Actually, Wolf's now going to go for sieges of his own, but it's going to be the French player who's going to siege first. Going to start picking away at this tower.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Get those, get the Turks on their heels a little bit, and get in there and attack.
Yeah. Nice raid from Old Cat, just picking off a random merchant that's just walking through. Really nice work. Although I will
That
say
Despot,
yeah.
it's gonna come and it's gonna be nice.
Still haven't scouted
Good worker.
forces, which really sucks for them. For PLA. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice raids there by Khan with his militia.
And on the other side, you see Old Cat's gonna start moving in with Soul into Ludditch. They're gonna try and double on this side.
Yeah, and we see Soul also going for a Despot. They're just gonna try and be really, really aggressive. Soul's not actually using Salt for some reason. He really needs to use that. That's one of the better aggressive rares. He is using diamonds though, which is gonna be good for him. And
Yeah.
all of these British archers. That's 6 British archers already. Let's take a look at how much military the other players have. Sheer has a bunch of heavy infantry, which are kind of bad against the British archers. What else?
Yeah, and he's got Obsidian too, so that's like even stronger than we would have normally thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Obsidian?
yeah, that
Plus
plus
longbow,
one
man.
attack is just awesome.
And we see Paris starting to siege on the other side with that French Despot. He has a pretty sizable army. Wolf has a bunch of militia, but they're all pulled, so his income's actually really terrible at this point. He just doesn't have many units.
Yeah, this is odd to see a Turk player this far back on their heels. So I'm not sure exactly, like I said, what he was trying to do. Maybe he didn't think you guys were going to be aggressive, but now it's it's hurting him.
Yeah, he's going for. Oh, it looks like. Yeah, what is Wolf trying to do here? Is he
I don't know.
potentially going for an ambush?
He's gonna try and catch my army off guard, I think. Pushing forward. I mean, militia are really good against archers, and that's what my army's mostly made of. That's what Pear's army's mostly made of, but I don't know if this is gonna work out. We'll see.
Yeah, he's pushing forward, so he's going for it.
Yeah, and it looks like Pear's
certainly-
gonna be forced to retreat, actually.
Yeah, he needs
So
to get
when-
that supply wagon.
Yep.
Supply wagon's getting targeted, but it might make it
We
out.
have
I'm
to-
not entirely sure. Looks like it is going to make it out, and that means Wolf's going to stave off the aggression at least momentarily. On the bottom side, Old Cat, another excellent raid on Furs. That's going to be really annoying, but at this point, all the AS players have used it. And we see, look at this push at the front for Soul and Old Cat.
Wow, yeah, nice attack. So hard against Brits like this. Oh, they are pushing back there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean,
lots of militia coming too.
yeah, here we see Namilla pulling his militia. He needs to make something. He needs to hold this city. Because this is a lot of. He's got a lot of things riding here. There's a mine, there's a bunch of farms, there's these towers.
Yep.
But these British longbowmen are doing mad work. I mean, look at how much plunder Old Cat's getting.
Yeah, this is great work from oldcat.
Soul
Well, he's
is
bringing
losing
his
a lot of
own.
units.
Look, if you look up, he's bringing all of his own militia.
Oh
This
wow,
is,
that is a lot of militia.
Yep.
Namillo does not have attrition, doesn't have the wealth for it. But I think
This is-
oldcat actually should have pulled his militia a little earlier because he's actually going to lose
Yeah.
this fight, I think, because of all the militia that Namillo keeps producing.
Yeah, and then the Kron wisely come rotating over to help repair. So it's really slowing down this attack. It's a good
he
teamwork here.
lost his siege too. So I mean, yeah, really good defense so far. I mean, they're making the
Yeah.
best of the situation. But now that the old cats cavalry or militia in this case have arrived, the city's not reduced anymore. So those
Yeah.
towers are gonna pepper them.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, now they don't really have any chance of taking the city because there's still a Korean villager preparing here. They're not that ahead on units. All they can do now is just try and go for a second attack and oldcat can keep his militia alive, and hopefully they've dealt enough damage to Namillo that the second attack will do enough. But on the other side, Pear's got a pretty nice despot army here, and
Yeah, the French are
Wolf-
starting to roll here.
Wolf
Yeah,
has
this
all
is
these
nice.
militia that are pulled and they're not gathering, so he can't make units.
Yeah, he's in big trouble here. You look at Wolf's income right now; it's terrible.
Yeah.
30
Yeah,
timber,
he's eco-
20 metal.
Yeah, and the gold is decent, but that's not helping him. He's not calm too, so can't do anything with it.
Yeah, he's just buying time at this point, but he's pretty
I
much.
mean,
a dead man
he
walking.
could build scholars actually and pull more militia with scholars with all that gold.
Yeah, but that's like so inefficient. But I guess you gotta
Yeah,
do
no,
what you
it's
gotta
not
do.
ideal. Yeah, it's definitely not ideal, especially against a French despot. I mean, that double healing is just so nasty.
Yeah.
It's an expensive army, but I mean, at the end of the day, he has to do what he has to do to survive. But I mean,
Yep.
the problem for him is that he'll survive this wave if he does his best, and then there'll be another wave coming shortly afterwards because Pear's eco hasn't taken a single hit.
No, it's
Yeah, and you see,
know,
it looks like Namillo is going to bounce back here. That's the great thing about the Germans. You know, they can easily recover from these type of attacks.
yeah. I mean, look
Khan's
at his.
over here to help,
He's gotten
so.
he's infinite queuing citizens, and he'll be fine. And it looks like
Yeah.
this city is gonna go down for Wolf here momentarily.
Yeah, Wolf's done. I mean, they got to do something quick. They got to rotate help. He's in big trouble. I mean, look at the economy. Its economy's in shambles. He's got nothing to protect Istanbul except for civilians, which are just going to get slaughtered.
Oh my god, this is like AS's day in the sun right now.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
really
Yeah.
is.
Crushing it right now. Yeah, obviously Pear doing well on the right, but then Namalox, and that was just a genius move. I know it's kind of common sense, but using that Korean citizen before to repair that building was literally game changing.
Yeah.
And I mean, in theory, Oldcat should have brought his militia a bit sooner, but I think Oldcat, he probably didn't think he needed to bring his militia at first, and then when he realized that they're putting up more of a fight than he thought, he's like, oh, okay, he just got nervous and tried to salvage it.
Yeah, and Pear's got these 3 siege just making a triangle around this tower. Unfortunately, he did lose his
Supply wagon.
He's-
Yeah, I
but he
lost
still
it to
got
the
despot.
tower, which was a mistake.
Yeah, but it's not. It really doesn't matter at this point because you still have your despot. You can build another siege factory and get another one if you want. But really, the
gonna be-
despot's enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be up to the left side to make something happen. Sola and Oldcat together. They really need to get something going, but I'm not sure where Sol's army is. Oh, it looks like he's. I actually don't know where's his army. Oh, it's going
You
over
see,
to the right side.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Wolf's lost all of his metal production. He's pulled. He's trying to get a tower up, which is just not going to help. He's dead. Doesn't have a second city.
He's at 28 population.
Yeah, he's going to be insta killed here.
Yeah, he is dead. Oh yeah, literally, he's going to be wiped from the face of the map
Yeah.
in just a moment. By the looks
I mean,
of it.
Soul is rotating though. Maybe Soul can do a little help here. He looks like he's gonna maybe try and ambush over on the side.
Yeah, that's really the only hope right now is if Sol can put
Yeah,
enough
save
units
him.
within the city radius just to hold the city, because it's literally life or death. Like, yeah, he just
Yeah,
needs to
but
stay
it's-
alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wolf dies.
Oh,
insta
boom!
kill.
that's just like,
Yeah.
man, get your troops next to the city. At least keep your ally alive for
Yeah.
5 more seconds.
Yeah, Soul blundered that there. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, but at least got to try.
Yeah.
Instead, he just
Yeah.
sat
Yeah.
back and waited, and now he's dead. And I think this is GG.
Yeah, and then Sol resigns as well, and that's gonna be it for game number
Yeah.
3 here.
You see, Namillo was aging too. He was actually
No.
aging, so
No GGs in the chat either. I'm not sure if you read into that as
No.
whether I don't know if PLA normally GG.
They
But
do normally GG, yeah. They're
yeah, I
usually
think it was
nice
just
about
a little bitter. But hey, you know, it happens.
oh, it happens. Yeah, a bit of frustration for sure. I mean, the way that they lost.
Yeah, I
you
know. This, to me, this was completely on Wolf. I don't know. He had like no plan at all. This is very uncharacteristic of PLA. It's like he was just gonna defend with Turks. Like I didn't understand that double tower, no early siege.
I just don't really know what he was doing with his money.
I don't
really.
think they just didn't have a plan really. It seemed like this game, and that's very strange for PLA. Typically, they
Yeah.
always have a good plan.
Yeah, or at least Wolf didn't have a plan anyway. Yeah, and he did build. Did he build siege on the left hand side this entire
No,
game?
he didn't.
I don't think he did.
No.
I think he should
didn't
have.
see-
Because
I didn't
think
see
that
any
was-
siege at all. Yeah, not one siege from a Turk player. It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Not Wolf's best game, but I think if he was to watch this back, I think you just need to come in with a bit more purpose and build it. You know, take advantage of your nation, build those early siege, and potentially you could have sniped all of Pear's production units if he had just built a tower.
Or
at the
just
front,
do what he
maybe.
was gonna do, and
Yeah.
if he was gonna do that double tower and defend on that side, and then give siege to the other side, because that siege would have helped. They would have killed Namillo probably. Would have to have the siege because remember that old cat when he lost the siege. If he could have rolled in some Turkish siege right there, that would have cleaned that city up.
Yeah, definitely. But
Anyway.
alas, I guess it was not destined to happen, and that's going to be AS taking game number 3 here.
So Pear, I think Pear MVP on that one. Good job, man. You really just steamrolled him.
Thank you.
Couldn't get anything going. Yeah.
All right, that's going to be it for game number 3 here. We're going to take another 5-minute break, so we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So sit tight for an exciting game number 4.
go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to be casting game number 4 of PLA versus AS Gladiators. This is match point for AS, so if they win this game, they will advance to the finals, and PLA will be knocked out of final contention. But again, the winner of this match will play in the finals, and then the loser will play in play versus AL for the bronze match for 3rd place. So that will be exciting. Let's load up game number 4 here, if you guys are ready.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So game number 4 did have a drop part of the way through. So we'll do the record. We played the save game basically after the drop. So we'll play. We'll show the playback until up to the drop, and then I'll show a video that shows the remainder of the game. All right. So I'm at 1 second when you guys are ready.
Yep.
Let's
Good to
go.
go.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we're on watering hole this time, and let's take a look at the players and their nations. For AS, we have AS Master Kron with Bantu, Ether Pair with Aztecs, and Namilo with Indians, and they're up against Wolf with Romans, PLA Soul with Inca, and Old Cat with Koreans. What do you guys think about these picks? Who do you think is favored?
Ooh, it looks like I'm going to give the edge to AS here. I think Bantu and Indians are more powerful generally on this map. Romans are definitely strong, but Inca, there's not a great deal of mountains normally, depending on where you spawn. So the power of Inca is a little bit less than normal. They're slow, and they're not very handy in getting that nice, holding the water in the early game. Koreans again. They've got their strengths, of course, but they're tier 3 for a reason, I guess. So I'd go AS.
Yeah, I agree. I love Aztecs too in the water. You get those kills, get the plunder. That's nice. And it's just unfortunate. This is just a bad map for Inca. If they would have had a last map, that would have been ideal.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Himalaya. So this is just a tough break there. But I will say Romans can be good on this map. In case you do lose the water, you still get the gold income, so you can still rush or do something. But edge to AS here.
Yeah, that's how we felt going into it too. We just if we don't lose water, we should be okay. Because for the other side, if they lose water, it's not nightmare because Inca and Romans, they have decent wealth incomes. But if AS lose water, it's gonna be tough to hold back because none of them have any wealth bonuses. So
that's right.
All right, let's take a look at where the players have spawned. In the bottom side, we see the green Aztec player. It's AS Ether Pair. That's myself. To the right in the pocket, the red Indian player, AS Mad Duelist X or Namilo. And on the wing, the orange Bantu player, AS Sheer. Across from Sheer, though still a little ways away, it's PLA Old Cat, the blue Koreans player. In the pocket, the white Romans player. That's PLA Wolf. And on the right side, the purple Inca player, PLA Soul. And because we're on watering hole, I can just quickly run through the rares. So for PLA, they've got access to salt, horses, relics, and furs maybe. On the other side for AS, they've probably got access to silk considering it's Bantu. They've got access to marble, dye, wine, and maybe Pappy. Pappy's in the middle between AS and PLA, so we're gonna see if they can fight, if both teams can fight over it.
Yeah, again, nothing too. I mean, I guess the salt for the land raid, silver's good for AS. Get the early age, get the fire ships out. Those are crucial.
I don't
securing
think
the water.
we have. Oh, silver. Yeah, sorry, I totally missed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
silver. My bad.
So yeah, if you can find that and use that, that's nice. That fast age and just really secure the water is really critical here. So it really, just like you said, pre-game comes down to AS securing the water here.
Yeah. Does look like.
How's the
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was going to say, how's the wood looking as well? That's often a huge factor on
Yeah,
this map
sure,
in particular.
So Soul's
for
got
sure.
8. That's a really nice wood camp, also just right next to his base. And here, actually, what I was trying to do is I was planning to go mill 1. So I have my citizens basically scouting his entire territory to look for his wood camp. And then for the Romans player, it's also a +8. That's really nice. For Old Cat, he's got a +5, which is not ideal, but it's better than nothing. For Sheer, he's got a +6. For Namillo, he's got a +5, also not ideal. And for Pear, for myself, I've got a +8. So, fairly even. Everybody's got their fair share of wood. Yeah.
Yeah, and the +5 for Namillo is not a big deal because it is Indian. They have the cheap, the non-scaling costs,
Yeah.
so it's not going to hurt him too bad early.
And
And he's got a huge
runes-wise-
camp to the top if he finds that. There's a big
Yeah.
camp right there just north.
Yeah. And in runes wise, it does look very, very, very similar. Just one more rune overall for AS, but extremely similar otherwise. Everybody's gotten their fair share of runes. Library times wise, it looks like Souls just put down his library, whereas Pear has gotten up his library for a little bit. Sheer has his library. Old Kaz has his library. They both look like they're going to go Calm 1. So does Wolf and Namillo. Namillo's actually finished up his Calm 1, so he's going to be the fastest out of all the players.
And I'm just curious, what do you guys think? Do you reckon PLA are going to go for, standard, typical, all-out Calm Mill water battle here, or do you think they might do something a bit different, given that they've got the wealth, nations on their side?
Well, I don't know what they're planning to do, but that plan's going to have to wait because Pear is going to go for Mill 1 here, and he's right next to the Inca player. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to disrupt. Yeah, I think that would be the play though, right? Calm Mill and control the water because they don't have any gold benefiting nations. So if you take the water away, it's going to be the play. But yeah, you're right. This early rack's going down. Just great move here from Pear. Let's see if he can utilize it properly.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you can see, hopefully I'm synced up here.
Yeah, I'm at
But
5,
yeah, this
10,
rack-
but yeah, good.
Yeah, no worries. It looks like it's Wolf of all players is putting down a tower behind Inca's base, or he's planning to.
Yeah, and that's a good choice. As they're Romans, you don't
the
need
Rome.
Mill to do that. But I don't know if it's going to make it in time. Where's his citizen? It's so far away. And, the barracks is already finished for the Aztec player, for the pair here, who still hasn't scouted the wood camp. I got a little sloppy there. But 3 light infantry getting built here, with a free one plus 2 more. So.
Yeah, that's a good number for sure. And I mean, it's just like, it's especially good versus Inca because firstly they're slow, but secondly Inca is just in a race to get to age 2, start getting that wealth income coming in. So this is going to set Soul back immensely, I'd only imagine.
Does look like Soul has gotten the money for Mill, and he's gonna. He has money for Mill, and he has money for a barracks, so he should be okay. He's not gonna straight up die, as we've seen some players do in this tournament. Getting caught unawares with finished up Civ, and then the first heavy infantry shows up at your wood camp, and you're dead. But these light infantry are gonna start being annoying.
Yep.
Soul begins building his barracks at the top.
Start target firing this single citizen from Wolf. He's gonna have to retreat that. Yeah, this is a nice little harassment raid here. And now you see the dot coming down from Pear 2, so you can be able to harass the water also.
Yeah.
So good job there.
And I mean, look at Inca's economy. Look at Soul's economy. It's plus 20, plus 10. It's just really unfortunate. He can't afford basically anything at this point. He had to walk all those citizens around to try to keep them safe.
Defend. Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like Soul probably overreacted a bit there. I mean, that number of citizens could easily just chase these Aztec units away if they attacked the force. But yeah, obviously he's just trying to put safety first. But he's losing so much income right now that this is setting him really far back.
Yeah, it's a very efficient raid here. So it's good work. And you see now Namillo's in the water. He's going to start, looks like, battling with Soul.
Yep.
Trireme face off.
Yep. It's Wolf and Old Cat against Namillo and Sheer here, because I'm kind of just making my fish. I do like me some fishermen.
Eco up. Yeah.
The free letter, as far as
yeah.
You know when allies.
What you can do is sneak a bark out, and once they start reducing these ships, you can hurry up, get the kill, and get the plunder off the kills.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little tactic with the Aztec. Just snake steal kills.
Yep. Chaos, if you will. Looks like Soul's gonna try and chase these Adol, but they're a little bit faster than Slingers, so they're gonna get away there easily.
And they did their job. They slowed him down.
Yep.
You see, Soul still hasn't been able to get Civ, or maybe he's just gonna skip Civ and just go Age.
Yeah, it's not entirely sure what he's up to. He has his economy's mostly recovered. He's plus 80 food, plus 90 timber, and he's gotten fishing ships out, so he's gonna be okay for a little while. His allies are trying desperately to battle in the water here. They're really starved on timber. It looks like, well, everybody is. This is one of those maps where early timber is really, really important.
And we're seeing some huge water battles here. This is typical of this map. Little bad micro here from oldcat. He's gonna lose one of his triremes at the top, but
I think that was Wolf's trireme, but yeah.
Oh,
I'm
never
at
mind.
845 right now.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And now I've gotten out my own heavy ship, and looks like AS has the edge, at least early on, in terms of number of ships. There's 4 triremes against also 4 triremes, but there's 3 more in the docks. And Namilo's also aged, so he's gonna get out fire ships. So
Yeah, that's gonna clean that up.
Nice. That was a fast age.
on the top side,
He skipped Civ, so.
Well done.
on the top side, Oldcat is he's gotten a nice little raid on Shear's wood camp, and Shear is caught a little off guard. He is making a heavy infantry now, which is gonna be nice for him, or archer, I mean. But he might be in a little trouble on this top side here.
It looks like Pear, you might snipe one of Wolf's ships here if you can micro this bark up. No, maybe not.
I think that's Souls, but yeah.
So
Now you're gonna
this
start
game
getting
is.
fish.
I just feel like this game is developing. Like it's going to be pretty fascinating to see how it plays out because, I mean, I feel like the PLA guys still have good nations to continue on, even if they lose the water in the middle.
Yeah,
But
for sure they do. Yeah.
they need to buy time, and I feel like if AS just push and attack this front city of Inca, for example, that's an easy pathway to victory potentially, or just at least keep the pressure on because with those relics behind and Inca and Romans, just naturally if they can hold it together, then yeah, they'll still be a force to be reckoned with as this game keeps going into the mid game.
Yeah, especially because you see Namilo's investing heavily in the water, so that's going to slow him on any land attack here.
He made 4 ships, and Shear's also making more ships. It looks like it's just a big investment, and so if
Yeah, so when you see
See that usually on this map, you want to get aggressive on land. It's like, all right, look how much they've spent between 2 players, right? You got 3 triremes from Shear, 4 triremes and a bark from Namilo. It's like, all right, that's a ton of units that's not going to be on the land.
Yeah.
So.
And this is a great tower from Oldcat here on the front next to Naju. I don't know why he canceled it. He's Korean, so he can just keep building it.
Yeah.
Yeah, canceling it was a mistake. He's Korean, so there's no need to,
Yeah, that would have went up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I didn't realize he was Koreans at the time, but that would have been a really annoying
Maybe
tower.
he didn't realize it either. He just forgot he was Korean.
Yeah, that's one of the powers of Koreans. Their towers, you can just keep build. Normally the counter to these tower strategies, right, is exactly what Shear does. You just put some units, citizens or otherwise, in your city, and then it'll start shooting the tower, and that wastes your opponent's resources. But as Koreans, you can build and repair buildings that are under fire without penalty, so your building speed won't get reduced. Basically, your tower may end up
And your
with less health,
citizens,
but
yeah, and the citizens won't get damaged, so they'll just, unless you target them.
Yeah, exactly. So that forward tower would have been a good choice, but unfortunately for Oldcat, he does cancel it. Looks like everybody's just getting their tech up, and Namilo's going to go for his classic Colossus there.
Yeah, nice. The trademark. I think he would have built Colossus last game too, but he just you told him not to.
Yeah. This game I
he
did
had the
tell.
money for it.
I told him like we're ahead early. Like I dealt a lot of damage to the Inca player, and Shear's holding his side fine. You can go for Colossus if you want, because we have water.
And here comes a despot now from Oldcat, so I think some aggression is going to be coming here.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I'm pretty sure that's what you have to do in this sort of spot. It is slightly early for a despot. I would have loved to see him get up his mill 2 first, actually, and also for him to use salt. And it looks like he is going to use salt there, which is a good choice. Because Despot can be good. It's just you don't really want to telegraph it this early for the most part. Although, I guess if you're AS, you should be preparing for a rush anyways.
Yeah, I mean, AS has to know, right? I mean, they have complete control of the water. There's no other option here for PLA. You know, once you lose the water, you got to go hard on the land.
Although,
And
it
if
does
you look
look
at
like
the scores, I mean, it's just they're gonna have to move fast.
does look like Old Cat is missing out on furs. And yeah, you're right, Old. Look, I mean, it's a 300-point average difference right now for PLA versus AS, and that's the power of the water, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's nothing you could do there.
Just
You
between,
gotta
yeah, even Khan versus Old Cat, like wealth income 83 for Khan versus 25 for Oldie.
Yeah.
For the other
that's
Oldie.
brutal. Yeah,
The imposter Oldie.
my doppelganger. Well, actually, the imposter oldie's Hugo. He's been smurfing as Old Dirty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I've seen that in lobby. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I've been kicking him from all the games. I don't let him play. He lags anyways.
Okay, touche. Here we see, this is an interesting, this I think is a mistake on Old Cat's part. I know these Korean archers are not bad, but actually when you do this sort of despot rush, it looks like Old Cat just doesn't have that much wealth, and so what you really need to do is you need to actually save wealth for your heavy cavalry. Your composition should be mostly heavy infantry, light cavalry, and heavy cavalry, because you need to save wealth.
He'll be lucky to have one heavy cavalry here.
Yeah, I mean 26 wealth income. Maybe the Inca player can send him some wealth, but Inca player is also suffering. He only has a +5 mountain, which is a bit unfortunate for him. He's also gotten despot, but they're not using fur. None of them use furs to research mill 2, which is a bit of a mistake. Yeah, it looks like AS is not even using it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Old Cat should bring all his famous militia from last game and do that again, because that's probably the right move.
Yeah, no, 100% is. He just needs to just keep spamming. When he's got an infinite Q on. Just spam out citizens and just go for the gusto here.
Yeah, I mean he's got his citizens queued over to the city of Naju. He's gonna get his militia. Yep, and he's hoping that there's not many units here. But Sheer already has a couple units. He's got attrition, which are gonna be really good against militia. So I'm not sure if this push is gonna work out. I think it would have been a better choice to have Wolf help support on the other side.
Yeah, and Sheer now is going to get Senator too, so that's... or no, I'm sorry. He's already got it.
No, that's DeMillo's Senator.
Oh, it's DeMillo's, yeah. So Sheer's going to have Senator also, and it's just...
Yeah, I mean, these militia are burning. There's not enough here to really make anything happen.
Yeah.
And Old Cat's like, okay, well, I can't do anything against two players here. I can't just throw away my entire... all my units. Now he's stuck with a despot that can't really do much. He's gonna try and rotate to take the city of Ludiana? I don't know.
Yeah, Ludiana.
Yeah.
Ludiana. That's good though. I mean, really intelligent play to get that attrition so fast. Prioritize that. Look at these Korean militia coming in now.
Yeah,
they're just burning.
They got sunburn, man. This is like 4th degree burns right now.
Yeah, it's really bad. You're just walking into like a furnace.
Yeah.
He's gonna back off. All these units are so damaged. He really needs to. Yeah, he's gonna turn them back into citizens. And now Sheer's here to chase him off with some really fast units. Light cavalry and all these infantry are really fast for the Bantu player. Probably he's gonna snipe some of these sieges.
This is what happens when you lose water. You just. I mean, you get put in an unfortunate spot. And you see Perry, you're down here at the bottom. You're doing a good job just countering Soul.
Yeah, this is a big skirmish between the Inca player and the Aztec player. The refunds versus the plunder for both these players. Oh, and it looks like here is the drop. So we're at 1601. So there was a drop that happened here. After consulting with Connor, we decided to play the saved game. So we're gonna go ahead and load up that saved game quickly.
So I'll just watch it from
so just watch it from the stream. All right, and so this is from the Millo's perspective because he was the one that was tasked with recording it. So we're just gonna watch him record. Unfortunately, there's no game sound, but we're just gonna be able to watch him record. So this.
Well, I mean, it's not looking good here for PLA. So let's be, let's be real.
Yeah, this is
Here's Cold with another pro tip. He says just convert your villagers back to avoid the attrition while running. So okay, I
Yep.
guess the villagers are faster than militia. I'm presuming.
Yeah.
yeah. I think they don't take as much damage maybe as well. I'm not sure about that, but
That could be true. I think they do move faster when they're not carrying their spears or whatever they're carrying.
Yeah.
Pitchforks.
yeah, they throw the pitchforks on the ground and
Yeah, and they
like
just
that.
run. Yeah.
Yep. All right, and so what do you guys think? Let's talk about the state of the game before this drop happening. You know, what do you guys think?
Oh, this is. I would say if I was a bookie and I was setting odds for people to bet on, I'd say I'd be offering probably 5-1 odds at least for PLA. As in, I'd say 5-1 favorites for AS because the water's completely been taken. But not only that, you know, there's been massive disruption to PLA. Inca's been disrupted. They've just gone for this militia push, which is a bit funky and got pushed back and did nothing. So the Korean player's on his knees basically at this point. Yeah, it's not looking pretty.
Yeah, I think that's a very generous odds Crowd's giving there. Maybe a few ways got in his pocket. But
I'll probably go broke. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a less than 1% chance here for PLA.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because they've lost the water. They've lost so much production by pulling all this militia from Old Cat. So they're out of it.
Yeah, and you can see here on the screen, Milo's queuing up scholars. He's getting a Civic 2. He's getting more units going, and he's going to be able to start pushing.
Yeah,
very soon.
I think it's again, Kron is clearly funded by the People's Liberation Army. So
I've been tainted.
He's being a little, and I love the PLA guys. You know, I'm friends with them all. So, but let's be real here. This is just a bad, and it's not because I mean, again, I kind of blame Wolf. I don't really know what he was doing here. He was at the bottom, I think, gonna try and help, and then he rotated up, but like his army never really made any impact. It was just kind of 1-on-1 on both sides. Well, actually 2-on-1 at the top, and then 1-on-1 at the bottom. So now it's just too little, too late. And then you see these elephants coming here.
Yeah, they're going to be really
Namillo.
strong.
What are you going to do against all the elephants?
Soon.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much of an army, but he's going to age soon.
Well, that's fine because those elephants are going to upgrade. They're going to deal with any militia. I mean, yeah, militia are pretty good against elephants, but they'll just get sniped by the range. So it's just I don't see a way out here for PLA, unfortunately.
Yeah, Wolf is on the top side there to try and support, but Namillo's there as well. Namillo's clicked up on the age button, and on the bottom side, I'll just tell you guys what's happening. I'm kind of skirmishing with Soul there, but I'm getting the better trades because Aztecs and plunder and stuff. Looks like we're gonna see a rush on the city onto Wolf and Old Cat are gonna try to charge in, but I mean, there's not breaking this. There's a tower, there's a lookout, there's like 3 elephants there. It's gonna be really hard to break that.
And those elephants are gonna upgrade here soon, like I said. And that's just, those ranged elephants are just really, really good.
Yeah, and he's gonna have crossbows too. It's gonna be really tough to make anything happen on that side.
With attrition, and they're an age down, so they can't get supply wagons. They do have Despot though, so that does help.
Yeah.
And they're up against Colossus as well, which happened such a long time ago now. I kind of like this though. Watching the stream right now, it's kind of cool seeing the first-person view. It looks like Namalox is quite the handy player. His
APM looks pretty. He's playing pretty quickly, which is very impressive. Good job on his part. And it's like, in StarCraft, there's a lot of talk of it's actions per minute and also EPM, which is like effective actions per minute or something like that. It's like if you spam click the ground, obviously that's going to increase your APM, but there's also like being effective with what you're doing, and he is doing a good job. He's he's selecting the army, seeing how much there is, slightly moving up and down if he needs to, making sure his macro is still there. He's getting his economy going, all that. On the bottom,
he's doing really well. I was just going to say, sorry, you go first, Per. What were you
I'm trying to tell from the mini map, but I think on the bottom side, I'm about to take the city, if I remember correctly.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of green into the purple area.
Yeah. Not entirely sure, but
I was just going to say quickly, bit of a shameless plug, but I'm actually working on a video right now all about hotkeys in Rise of Nations and
that's
just
awesome.
basically customizing every single hotkey so that you can use your left hand and not have to be pressing
Oh
the
yeah,
the
nice.
terrible.
actually that's exactly what I do. I rerouted all my hotkeys the other day, like maybe like a month or two ago, and I like
Yeah.
why is barracks K? Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay, like B, like it's all these keys that are impossible to use.
why is siege
And,
factory O? It's like so far away, you know. Like
oh,
you're never gonna
exactly.
hit
So
that. So
that's why it's so important to change them. So yeah, just keep an eye out. But obviously, recommend that at a high level, everyone has a look at their hotkeys
yeah,
and tries to change them a bit because
yeah,
the defaults are shocking.
yeah. Yeah, maybe Kron, you and I can have a talk afterwards, briefly about like what the hockeys are going for. For me, I what I like to do is I would like to do like you know how the citizens are when you hit the build menu like this, it's like library, city, market, temple, whatever. I just like do my keyboard basically. So like um the library is the only one different, but W is my city, E is my temple, R is my market, etc.
Yep, pretty much, or very similar to what you're saying, except
Yeah.
yeah, I got different keys for different ones, but yeah, basically the same thing. You should never use anything on the right hand side of the keyboard
Yeah.
because that's not like yeah. I used to play StarCraft, so
Yeah.
if you play like StarCraft 2, it's done by default, and that's for a good reason
Yeah.
because yeah, every time you look at your keyboard, it's not
It's
a good
like yeah,
hotkey.
it's a struggle. On the bottom side, I've definitely taken the city this time. Although I think Seoul took it back briefly. But all the AS players have aged. Wolf is the only one who's aged on the side of PLA. We see a rush for the city of Naju. There's so many sieges here. Even a bunch of Korean citizens won't be enough to hold that. And
Yeah, it's over.
it's gonna be
It's over.
Namilo taking that city.
Yeah, there's no way this is PLA's toast.
Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be it here.
Yep.
And that's going to be
Good
the
enough
end of
for
the
AS.
series here. It's going to be a
Yeah.
victory for AS, so congratulations.
And you guys
I
didn't
mean-
even need to use Surge or Phantom, so good job.
Yeah.
Good job for you.
That's always a
Anyways,
plus.
old roasting
Yeah.
the people who smurfed against PLA in the quarters. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
no.
it.
Honestly, I think assuming that this is pretty much it right here, this could perhaps go down as the proudest moment in the history of the AS clan. I mean,
Wow.
grand
that's a bold
final.
statement. Bold statement.
Is this hyperbole or is this accurate? Because
I don't know.
you guys.
I honestly,
guess we're gonna have
I'm
to-
not too big on
can
my
we
history, so
Can we confer with Spiridon? Maybe he can confirm that. Is this the biggest moment in AS history? I don't know. Is he in the chat?
There's
still?
probably
I don't know.
there's
I
probably
think-
some moment like 10 years ago or something, which AS like defeated
yeah,
some
like dominated some
old
tournament or
legendary.
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, some,
So I see Vishal in the chat says
beat some scenario. They beat some crazy scenario. And
Yeah.
one time.
Vishal in the chat says who's playing the final. So if AS wins this, which is looking very likely that they do, I mean,
Yeah, it's AS
Milo's-
versus Connor.
Yeah, it's going to be AS versus Dirty's Angels. That's Connor's team. So that's GI John,
Yeah.
Connor, and Henry, and Rich Panini if he plays.
If he ever shows up again, yeah.
Yeah, not
So
sure where
then,
he went, but
So then AS and AZ, or no, not AZ. Is it AZ? Who's
it's
who's
going to
the
be
third place?
PLA
Oh,
versus
AL.
AL. Yeah, so they're going to
yeah,
play
PLA versus AL. That's right.
for the bronze match. For that,
Yep.
so for that match, we're having Spiridon actually come in as a guest caster, which should be really exciting. And then
Yep.
for the finals, we're having Connor because he is the tournament organizer. We'll have him there as well. I actually haven't checked with Connor when the deadline is. I'm not sure what he's thinking either. It's going to be at least 2 weeks because like it's especially for the finals. The finals are best of 7. The bronze match is best of 5. So that's
Yep.
going to be important.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be intense. With a best of 7, oh no, you guys will be fine. I was thinking you might run out of nations, but there's 8
Yeah.
in each tier, right?
Yeah,
So,
there's 8 in
yeah.
each tier and there's 1 ban. So you're gonna if it goes to 7 games, you're gonna play every single nation that's not banned.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Nice,
very
that's
exciting.
good. Yeah, it'll be like you get to the end, it's just like Russians versus Russians and I don't know, whoever else.
Hey,
I don't know
I'll
what
have
the
you
word-
know I pick Russians very highly, all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Russians are one of my favorites personally.
Yeah.
They are a cool nation for sure.
We're gonna
Yeah.
see a lot of I think Egyptians versus Egyptian in game 7.
You're Dutch. See a lot of Dutch.
Yeah. Not to hate on Egyptian or Dutch lovers. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. It's just
Yeah,
I don't
just a
know.
nomad Dutch loses some of their, and standard
Yeah.
are so much more.
Have you seen
So
that
much
meme
stronger.
that's like it's like a giant like monster and it's like Dutch and standard and then there's like it's like a then there's like a dog right next to it and it's like Dutch and nomad.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I saw that. Yep. But I think Egypt, like, they're a really powerful nomad nation. It may be
Definitely.
not popular,
I mean,
but
they're
yeah, in
tier
the
one
right
for a reason.
situation. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I feel like Egyptians are more powerful where you map in advance because
Yeah,
yeah, on maps
definitely. I
like
mean,
Sahara.
lakes, Himalayas, those are the maps that Egyptians really shine on, or Amazon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this tournament format, like if you pick Egyptians, you're basically rolling the dice and
Yeah,
crossing your fingers.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's like kind of like similar to like how you cross your fingers for Nubians. You just hope for good rares.
Yep.
Mm, mm,
Or for Inca, you hope for Himalaya or Mesa or something.
Yeah.
mm, mm.
See a big rush for the capital of Seoul, or well, it's Old Cat's capital, but it's Seoul. Um,
Yeah, it's
Oh my
over.
god,
yeah.
look at those towers.
Yeah, those towers are putting in work, but the Milo has a giant Indian elephant army, although the elephants looks like they all died, so um, yeah.
This is always like the most fun part of any Rise of Nations game, I reckon, is like when you know your team's won and you're just sitting there, kind of like just finishing the game off.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
spamming units, showing off your army.
Yeah. I don't know, my
Yeah,
my favorite
teching
part
up.
of Rise of Nations is like it's like when you get that rotation and you sandwich your opponent's army and then you just like completely crush them. That makes me feel like very smart, because I'm like, oh, I did a
Yep.
great rotation or whatever. So
Yeah, no, it's also good. Definitely crushing your opponent's army is always a highlight.
yeah.
Oh, capital's gone down. I'm probably a bit behind the stream, but yeah.
It's fine. This game's over at this point.
Yeah, it's been over.
Yeah.
As soon as they lost the water, it was over. They just because
Well, I think
like
it was.
this-
I think it was over when Old Cat couldn't get anything done with his despot, basically.
well, that's what I mean, right? So it's all kind of stems on the water. So you lose the water, so then they can easily get attrition. They can easily get they got all that metal and gold now. They can do whatever. So the attrition is just brutal against the militia rush.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they didn't use furs either.
Oh yeah, that was also a mistake. Unfortunate. First is a
And
really
Wolf, like I said, last couple games, I think it's kind of fallen Wolf here. Turks doing absolutely nothing on Himalaya, and then here these Inca just kind of running back and forth between the two cities, just didn't have any impact at all. So we'll see if they readjust for the bronze game.
Yeah, definitely. And that will be an exciting match, and also obviously the finals. So stay tuned for that. Hope everybody enjoyed this cast. We're just waiting for the GGs to be called here because I think they'll be called shortly. Both sides are losing. On the bottom side, either pair took the capital, so and they're gonna take souls soon enough. So
Can I ask you guys, just looking ahead to the final?
yeah, sure.
Who do you think, or Oldie maybe, because I guess Pear, you're probably
Yeah, I'm hoping that AS is gonna have the edge, and the GGs are called here. GG, well played.
Yeah,
I think AS clearly has the edge now. You see how well Perry you've been playing, just exceptional. Namilo's been, like I said, Cole Jr. with his booms and all that kind of stuff. Sheer is sheer. So I think all around, Connor and Henry are strong players. Henry's shown he's definitely strong. But G.I. John is kind of a boomer. It's hit or miss. If he can't boom, he's in trouble. He can get rushed very easily. He doesn't build army a lot early, but if they let him boom, he's in trouble. But I think AS has the edge in a 7-game series for sure. Because the other thing about 7 games is it removes all the elements of like, well, we had bad rares, we had bad this or that, because you have so many games.
Theoretically, that's gambler's fallacy.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you have bad rares one game, you won't necessarily have good rares the next game.
I'm just saying the odds are going to be better than if it's just a 3 or 5 game.
True. Yeah.
You're going to get an extra game or two.
Yeah.
To bounce back. So even if you get bad rares, let's say in all 7 games, then it's still at some point you're going to have to rush. You're going to have to make some type of adjustment. You have more chances to let your talent kind of rise out.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that's going to wrap up the stream. It's going to be AS taking the victory over PLA in the semis. So AS is going to be in the finals against Dirty's Angels, and PLA versus AL in the bronze match for third place. So I hope everybody has enjoyed the stream. I want to say a big thank you to Kron for coming out and joining us today. We really appreciated your insight and commentary. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on again. It was awesome casting it, and congratulations to AS. And yeah, looking forward to the grand finals now. So be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited for both of these matches, both the bronze match and the finals. So should be fun. I need to double check with Connor when those are due, but they'll be in at least 2 weeks. So for those teams, please get scheduling, and we'll be casting those pretty much whenever they come out. So thank you so much to everybody who's watched. I hope you all have enjoyed the stream. This is AS Eat the Pair signing off.